button, so we should see it start to show up shortly
Cool. Thank you shortly.
on the Twitch TVs. And it just said manage your channel.
8 plus con or 5 plus con for each level, but yeah,
What's your con?
+3.
Damn.
Because I've got a +1 racial and then a +2 for something else when I leveled up, I think. I leveled up con.
God.
Yeah, I leveled
Episode
up
10,
+1 con.
Cultists and Cupcakes.
I forgot that I was wearing this shirt when I went out in public to get Josh, wandering around super conservative Lake County. So I think that was a good choice. I feel good about my choices in life.
Oh yeah, sure.
People are like, who's dumb?
I don't worship him. I worship Jesus.
Save me, Jeebus. I don't even believe in Jeebus.
Now you know. I'm gonna close email. Maybe email is causing some problems. I may have to like. Oh, our audio is on. Damn it. Thank you, Fire. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Something Wicked This Way Comes, episode 10. Can you believe it? This show has been around for 10 episodes already. Amazing. And you guys have been here for the journey. So thank you all for being a part of that journey with us. Before we get our story started tonight, a couple quick announcements. Tomorrow night is Fiasco Night. It will have a special host because our Callie Dragon, who's normally hosting, is playing for a change. And she's playing in a game called All the Damn Vampires. That's right. All the Damn Vampires. And then on Saturday, we have a post apocalyptic drunken dread. We'll be getting back to our alcoholic roots, which means that everybody gets to see Reardon get really drunk, make amazing Jenga moves, and then knock the table over with his foot. Then on Monday, we wrap back around to Chosen Family, and then that brings us to Tuesday again, which I'm sure is everybody's favorite night of the week. And also a reminder that once we hit 100 followers, I believe we're only 12 away. Once we get 100 followers, we're going to be giving away this super awesome, cool die rolling coin that I am holding up and showing to the camera right now. It is double-sided, and it does D4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 20. The only thing it won't do is a D%. You'll just have to spin that 10 twice. But yes, it works. It's wonderful. It's amazing, and it also can be used to play some other games. And there's a little QR code inside it. We'll put a link in the Discord. But we're at 88 followers, 12 more, and then on the show immediately following that, so that we can announce it, we give that sucker away. That concludes our announcement. So why don't we get back down to it? When we last left our heroes, they had put their cunning plan of bringing all of the factions together at the Catholic Church to smoke out the evil Court of Shadows and their nefarious plan to bring ruin to the universe. Only their plan didn't go as planned, and the Court of Shadows said that they couldn't come in because that ground was forbidden to them. While that they were investigating this, they noticed a couple of those bald people in the hoodies that seem to always be around when buildings are blowing up. Realizing that it may well be a trap, they told everybody to run and tried to catch up to these people. That's when Zuki came up with a plan of her own. She was going to follow Lord Malmarathir and see where he went after this, somehow not realizing that the place that he was going to go was the Summer Court. And so she traveled to the Summer Court in cockroach form and even met the Summer Lady, which is kind of a big deal. However, nobody else knew this is what happened, so as far as they could tell, she had been abducted. Reginald's best guess, Court of Shadows. So after regrouping at the Plastered Dragon, or what still stands of the Plastered Dragon, they decided, since they couldn't find her, to go and kick in the doors of the Court of Shadows or one of their local offices and just start killing people and blowing things up until someone gave them the answer that they wanted. Fortunately, Zuki, in her dealings with the Summer Court, managed to get them to bend time a little and return her only a half hour after she left. And so just before everything went to hell, she managed to borrow a phone of a passerby and call the Plastered Dragon, get them to call Reg or Keel, and stop the massacre. I'm not going to say who was going to be massacred, but it was going to be a massacre.
Wow.
There was regrouping. There was regrouping yet again, and lo and behold, an argument between Zuki and Reginald. I know, who could have seen that coming, and yet it happened. Then everybody in separate shifts retired back to the apartment, made up, and Keel called his mom, who offered to bake them cupcakes.
Yes.
And Keel said that they would be happy to come over in the next couple of days. They just had to take care of a couple of things. First, he talked about the church, which made her so happy that he was back, and talked about Father Mike from St. Anthony's. Keel realized Father Mike was probably one of the priests that was skinned, flayed, and staked out, and decided not to share this information with his mom, and they decided there was just one more reason to avenge those priests. And then they decided the next lead to follow up on was the 3 werewolves that were at the meeting. One of them had taken sick, and when Nicholas examined them, he noticed that he had some of those strange tattoos. Not in the same place as the other people that they had found, but he had the same style of tattoo. and they decided to send him to the hospital and follow up later. He never made it to the hospital. His two friends, however, they did. Not in the regular part of the hospital so much as the basement area where all the dead bodies are kept. And Nicholas, using his contacts as a nurse, went in and found their dead bodies in the morgue, sans heads. And that is where we left our heroes. So, Nicholas, you are still in the morgue. Reg, you are still out in the hall. And your cell phone, Nicholas, is still being held, so you cannot take pictures of the corpses.
I'm taking mental photos.
Okay, that's fine. Your friend seems to still be a little bit bitter about the woman you set him up with.
Well, I mean, I can't be held responsible.
Can't you, though?
I mean, if you want to hold me responsible.
All right, so you've taken a bunch of mental pictures. You're fairly certain that these are the two werewolves that were with the sickly one.
Any odd additional markings on them other than their heads removed?
No, that pretty much is it. Just the missing heads seems to be the most significant detail about these bodies. and the fact that it didn't look like surgical cuts so much as the heads being actually torn off.
Okay. Ragged edges, that kind of stuff.
Ragged edges, very uneven. A lot of damage and trauma to the surrounding tissue.
I think that's sufficient. We can get out of here.
It doesn't look like the heads came off easily.
They resisted.
The heads resisted being removed, yes.
Yeah. Seems like a fair thing on their part.
As heads are often wont to do, yes.
On occasion.
On occasion.
All right, so we can get out of here. I'll go pick up my friend at the door, and we'll get out of here.
Okay.
We'll head. I'll walk out.
Your friend from the finest hospitals in London and England?
Yes, and England. It's the finest.
He hands you your phone back and says, "All right, we good now?"
Yeah, I'll make up for the date. No problem.
All right, good.
All right, I'll catch you later. Again, let me know if anything pops up. I'll make this up to you.
I'll keep you in the loop. All the weird shit goes your way.
Thanks. And I'll just walk out to Reg. So, Reg, London and England, huh?
All right,
Nice.
you know what? It is very easy to throw stones in glass houses. Would it have been better if I stopped talking altogether and just raised my hand? I can't be on it all the time. Stupid London and England, Great Britain. Oh, what did you discover?
Their heads resisted being torn off. As a side note, most interesting. Yeah, they.
Wait, hang on. Nick, I don't think I've ever asked this. Where did you go to school?
College.
Oh, all right. Yes, continue. Their heads resisted. Anything
Well,
else?
not in London or England.
Yes, well, that's obvious.
Touche.
Touche.
All right, let's get out of here and get back to the rest of the guys. I don't like being out in the open like this.
No, yeah, let's go. Let's go.
All right, you guys head back to the apartment. What are the rest of you doing while they are at the hospital?
I actually thought they were there with us.
Yeah, I think we were at
Oh,
the
did
hospital
you guys-
waiting in the.
You guys just waited outside. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys come outside and they're there looking completely inconspicuous.
Well done, gang. Nick, do you want to tell them what you told me?
All right, so it was the other two from the werewolf, not the one that was sick. It was the other two, his buddies, that somehow accidentally lost their heads. They didn't
Like
recover
who?
them. They're gone.
I lost my head.
Possibly. Wasn't there.
Did the heads show any type of resistance?
There was surprisingly, and I don't know if you guys are up on your anatomy, but I can fill you in. Heads typically will, as a certain level, resist being torn from your shoulders. Now, these actually made an effort to not be torn off. They like put extra neck muscles in the effort. They really worked at it. But it was still
All
traumatic.
right.
Still traumatic.
Good to
So,
know.
was there any sign of the third werewolf at all?
No, but I did check their pockets.
And names, anything like that, or were they just labeled John Doe's?
Came in as Robert and William Doe.
Oh, all right.
Sorry, another John in there, so they had to mix it up.
Bob Doe.
No. All right. Well, a part of me is terrified now, and a part of me wonders if we should start contacting some of the other groups and to let them know that there are possibly sleeper agents in their midst. And Keel, I don't know if you want to contact anyone at Ben. I hate to say this, but there's a possibility that this was an inside job.
You know, everything that we've been seeing totally points to that. Man, I just do we go first to the werewolves to let them know? I mean, I'm sure they've already figured out by now that 2 of their guys are missing. Maybe we can find that third.
Yeah. I
Do we
mean,
know who the third was? I mean, they sent representatives. Was he recognized?
I am not sure. Brian, did I recognize that third werewolf?
You didn't.
Is that
You did not recognize any of the werewolves. Zuki recognized one of them as her friend from the train.
The one of the dead ones, or the one who got really sick?
Well, you don't know because you didn't see any of them get really sick because you took a trip to the summer court, if you recall.
No. But remember, just before I left, I looked back and
Oh,
I
that's
saw the one.
you did. That's right. You did see, and the one that got sick was your friend. Yes,
Okay, so he's not one of the dead ones.
he is not one of the dead ones.
Got it. Okay.
Do we need to go look this guy up? We know who it is now.
I know where he is. I know where his pack is.
I mean, honestly, does this change anything for us? I mean, do we, if we still believe this to be the Court of Shadows, then this doesn't really change anything. The only thing it changes is if it's not the Court of Shadows, if it's a few members in every organization. Are we totally barking up the wrong tree here?
Well, I mean, I guess the big question would be, when were those tattoos given out? Were they abducted? And kind of.
Can we pursue the tattoos, Brian? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure there has to be like a small, like, group that does mystical tattoos or would be able to recognize these designs and hit the pavement a little bit.
Yeah, and there's a certain group that you know that really deals a lot more in tattoos than any other group.
Okay. Yeah, and so if you want to, maybe before we go on another wild goose chase where we're tracking group to group to group, maybe we start at the tattoos and sort of work our way outward. If everyone's all right with that.
Yeah,
Lead
I think
on
that'd be
if
great.
you've got a contact.
Yeah. No. All right. Let's do that.
Okay.
Who is my tattoo guy or gal?
Well, you do have a guy that knows a lot about tattoos, but the group that has the most experience with tattoos is the Court of Shadows.
Son of a.
You do
All right.
you
And
do have a guy though that you could go to, who's he's got a little shop on Newbury Street where he sells counterculture kind of things and stuff, but mostly he spends his time. It's like a front for his magical business. His name's Sakai.
Sakai. Yeah, let's go talk to Sakai.
Hey,
Okay.
Reg, real quick. This is definitely an epiphany moment. Hey, so these tattoos, did any of them like change, or they all stay the same? Did any of them change shapes or anything like that?
I mean, not that I'm aware. I mean, it's quite possible because the symbols that we saw and that we captured on my phone, it's still acting strangely, and it was only one particular symbol that when I touched it, I got sort of blasted backward and got a bit of radiant damage, like radiant energy, like filled me, and so it makes me wonder if there's this cycle, sort of cycling through different energy sources, and that's what those particular gentlemen that have been blowing up, they've almost been the, I don't know, for lack of a better term, the battery used to ignite a spell. Like the spell component is people. Soylent Green is people. No, the spell component is also
You remember back
people.
at the bar, and you were pointing out that really hot vampire girl. I mean, maybe I pointed her out, but whatever. Um, the guy came in, and you were the guy we don't like. I can't remember his name because it's douchebag. But remember you showed that tattoo and it was moving. Is there any similarities
Yes.
there? You think?
It's quite possible, and that's the Court of Shadows. And we could always skip the middleman, Sakai, but I just don't trust those people as far as I can throw them, especially after what happened with Zephyr. So I'd almost want to go to Sakai first and gather information, and then as a last resort, because we're probably going to have to set up a meeting with the Court of Shadows anyway, if that makes sense. If we truly believe them to be the cause of all this, but who knows? Maybe Sakai could lead us down a different rabbit hole.
You know what? You're right. Let's go see your guy Sakai.
But the connection, Nicholas, of the moving tattoos and them having access to it, the tattoos that they have on them aren't tattoos; they're souls.
So what if these aren't tattoos?
It's a fair point. Let's keep it in the back of our mind, because that's terrifying. Because we've been seeing these symbols put into the ground and other places. So if they're using soul magic, this is bad, powerful stuff. So, yeah, let's go visit Sakai.
Okay, how are you guys traveling? Newbury Street's not super far, but it's not walking distance from where you are. I mean, unless you were feeling like a long walk,
I would kind of feel like time is of the essence. I don't mind
like an Uber or
Ubering
something. Yeah,
or taking
We
Keel's
could
van,
take my mystery machine.
the battle van.
the battle wagon.
Dun, 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 dun,
What
dun,
time of day is
dun.
it right now?
Uh,
Evening by now?
Morning?
no, I think this is a morning time thing. This is you guys were back at the. Oh no, actually it is evening because you were at the church in the morning, and then no, the meeting at the church was the evening. Then you went off on your own. You came back slightly after you went out. There was the whole blow up. Back to the apartment for piece pizza and sleep. Reg decided to sleep in his own bed and burned the sheets, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, today so far was the church, summer court, werewolves.
No, that
No.
was yesterday. Today's all we've done is the hospital, I believe.
Hospital was the only thing that we've done this morning.
Oh, okay,
Long rest
thank you.
hospital.
Got it. So we just woke up, went to the hospital. I see.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Keel shoved pizza under the door last night.
It was not a moment of clarity.
But it was a moment of pure beauty.
I'm not a smart man. Cool. Battle wagon.
All right, so you guys head into the battle wagon, and for those that don't know Boston, Newbury Street is kind of one of the trendier parts of the greater Boston area. You find a lot of the hipster style shops, bead shops, comic shops, smoke shops, things like that, trendy art. And so Sakai's shop is nestled in amongst there.
Between two Starbucks.
No, actually, I don't believe, at least the last time I was on Newbury Street, there was not a Starbucks.
Oh.
A Dunkin'
trendy.
Donuts, possibly, but there's a Dunkin' Donut. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a Dunkin' Donuts in New England.
I don't think Zuki likes that expression.
She might not. That's just to show
Well,
you how
we're
serious
driving-
it is.
Yeah. While we're heading to Newberry Street, I'm examining this hand crossbow that we picked up off the elf youth.
Okay.
And am I getting any vibes from it? Or, I mean, are we just looking at an ordinary crossbow here?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Well, that's a 19 plus 1. That'll be 20.
It looks like a very well-made crossbow, and it looks like it's got some fancy filigree on it. Someone clearly took a lot of time making this weapon, but you're not sensing any kind of magic or seeing any runes on it. It's just a very well-made crossbow by someone that has more resources than they probably need.
Am I thinking to myself that it's not going to be much use against most creatures that we meet, or?
Yeah, you're feeling like it would probably be useful against mortals or normal creatures or half magical creatures, but you don't feel like it would do much against other elves or monsters.
Gotcha. Excellent. Well, I'm going to hold on to it.
Okay. You guys get to Newbury Street. You find a place to park.
Paint us a picture, Brian. Tell us about this cool, trendy Sakai's tattoo alternative shop.
So, Sakai's shop is right next to Newbury Comics, which Zephyr actually is someone who knows quite a bit about, because Newbury Comics isn't just a comic book store. It's comics, it's games, it's memorabilia, it's music. It's where you go to get the latest trendy, edgy music. So like when you want the local bands and stuff, their stuff and tickets to their concert are sold at Newbury Comics.
And I've actually seen the tattoo shop and have been so tempted to go in, but have refrained up to this point out of respect for my mother.
And as you guys are walking by, you see Zephyr kind of doing one of these, his head kind of leaning toward the Newbury Comics there. But Sakai's shop, it's dimly lit, and it has a lot of bins of beads of differing styles. Some of them are like, cheap glass beads, but some of them are, those beads that people make out of clay, where like they've rolled together a bunch of different things and they do the little cross sections and suddenly it's a flower. And he's got like bins of beads that are made out of that kind of clay in rainbow colors, and it's this whole psychedelic effect. It's pretty trippy. There's incense burning in there, and he has a little rack of incense along the wall, and he's kind of just chilling behind the counter. There's not really anybody in the shop. He's got a hat pulled over his eyes. He's sitting, his feet are up on the counter.
Well, just so you know, as we walk up to the shop, I make sure to hurry up and open the door and hold the door open.
For Zuki.
I didn't say that.
Didn't need to.
I'm opening the door.
He's just Zephyr kind of runs ahead of everybody, pulls out his inhaler, and he's holding the door.
Reginald walks in
Doesn't
and
even notice. Completely oblivious.
Oh yeah, she.
Reginald whispers, "Saddle," and then walks.
Yes, the one person who noticed, Reginald.
Yeah.
Sakai is a tall, thin man. You'd almost describe him as gangly, and he's got a long beard and long hair, but it's not one of those the neck beards. It's groomed. It just happens to be very long.
I walk up to the counter and I go, "Oi, you! Get your feet off the counter. I know the guy who owns this place."
He chuckles, flips his feet down, knocks his hat back, says, "Yeah, man, I know him too. Sup, Reg?
What's up, Sakai? How are you, sir?
Oh, living the dream, living the dream. I mean, look around. Got everything I need here."
No, I can see that. You've added even more beads, which I didn't think was possible, and yet There are more beads.
Well, you got to rotate the stock from time to time, man. You know, you never know what people are going to be interested in. I mean, I got a whole section over there on uh, mythical creatures.
Yeah. And Sakai, this is a very interesting incense that I'm smelling in this shop. What do you call this particular incense?
This particular incense, hang on, let me check the label. It's stock number 420.
Yeah,
I call it Summer Vibes.
summer
You
vibes.
want me to
That's
hit you up with a
interesting.
pack of that?
No,
All right,
no. I
man. You
look over
sure?
at Suki and I see Zephyr, and I'm like, no, no, stay in school, be cool.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
he looks over at Zuki and Zevra and says, "Hey, check out the beads over in that corner. Go make yourself a necklace there. It's pretty cool stuff. Yeah."
Hey, I head over to the beads.
And
Sure, why
And,
not?
he's like pointed you toward the mythical creatures section, and you've got there like these stylized dragons, unicorns.
is there like a tiger and a cockroach and like a rat?
Uh, you, you know, you find a tiger. Let's see, how about a cockroach? You find a rat. Now, let's see, how about a cockroach? This is gonna be a little bit tougher. No, you do. You find a tiger, a cockroach, and a rat.
Well, Zuki's
um,
going to get a little bit distracted looking at the tattoo options.
Okay.
uh, while they are away from the counter, I will lean forward and say, I will definitely have some of that incense. But I will also ask you about the reason we're here is for these tattoos, Sakai. We're doing it.
Uh,
Have
I was
you heard?
wondering when you'd be coming around to that way of thinking.
Yeah. Have you heard about
Well,
these mythical weird symbols?
I mean, you're gonna have to be more specific, man, because like, I mean, I deal
Uh,
in weird symbols all the time. You know what I'm saying?
what, what about symbols like this? And I pull out my cell phone and show him.
He looks at it and like tilts his head. He kind of tilts it the other way. Is it me? Or does that keep changing?
No, it's definitely changing,
Oh,
and
thank God. Whoa. I mean,
yeah,
I didn't
no,
think I was high, but you know, I mean, sometimes it's hard to tell. You know what I'm saying?
no, I understand, but Sakai, I really need you to focus if you can, my friend.
Right, right. Hang on.
Yeah, yeah, good job. Yeah, there you are. Pinpoint laser focus. Look at you.
Oh yeah. Oh
Keel's
yeah.
Keel's standing behind Reds, just rolling his eyes.
So those symbols there. Uh, no, man. No one's come in here for that. That's I, something not right about those. I mean, I can't tell you what, but it's making the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I mean, there's something not. Uh, and he starts to reach out to touch the screen, and then like he stops just short of touching it. He's like, "No, no, man, no, put that away."
Okay. Yeah, I put it back in my pocket. Um,
Yeah, no,
who
yeah.
who would be doing these? I know that it's not you, and I
You know, if
other
you
than
look,
the court.
yeah, you don't want to mess with the Court of Shadows. They like use weird stuff for. I mean, you know, I use ink. I mean, I use some magical ink sometimes and stuff. Yeah. The people with you, they're cool, right? They're cool.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said the M word in front of them. But
No, 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 no.
oh,
They're like us.
oh,
They're in the know.
all right, all right. Man, I do not need another visit from Ben.
I know. I
Uh,
know.
I mean, I know when they're coming, but it takes me so long to get everything cleaned up and locked down before they get here. It's just like a hassle. You know what I mean? It's just a hassle.
How do you know when Ben is coming?
I just the hairs on the back of my neck. I just get this vibe. I can just tell when they're coming to bust my balls.
It's like you have ESPN or something.
Yeah, it's exactly that. You know, People have different abilities. I just get this sense when things are, not right.
Okay. Sakai, thank you. How much do I owe you for the two bracelets and the other stuff?
Hang on, wait. Let me check out the Oh no, dude, you're doing the bracelet all wrong. You don't just take the three things and stick them together. You can't see them. You got to put like spacer beads in. Oh man. Oh, I never showed you how to make a bracelet before, dude. All right,
Oh,
hang on. And he like walks out from behind the counter and he goes over to Zephyr. He's like, all right, man, here's what you do. See how like it turns this way? If you put the cord through it, it's gonna be on its side. You gotta get a little loop and you clip it in, and you put a bead
okay.
here, and you put a bead here, and then like, you really gonna put all three of these animals on the same
Oh, yeah.
necklace?
Well, yes. If I, yeah,
Are
I
you
have
sure?
to.
Yeah, because like three things on you might be better with like a charm bracelet or something, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? You know what you're doing. It's really important. It's just got to be
Oh.
right.
All right, it's got to be right. What colors? Like, what's the vibe you're going for? What
Oh,
energy? What energy?
I just feel light and airy and just
All right. So like blues
almost
and silver.
summers and springs and yes,
Oh, hang on,
and
that's
winters,
different.
especially winters. No, no,
Summer
no,
and
no.
winter and spring and
There's like
light.
all
Dude,
together.
you're confused.
Oh, I don't know what to do.
Wait, I got it, dude. Do you have like a fourth animal?
A fourth one. I'm racking my brain to see if there's a fourth animal that I can think of.
You know what?
Help me.
I mean, you could do this with three, but like if you did four, we could make like a wheel of seasons around the bracelet, man. Like you have
Oh,
winter, and then
oh.
like you have spring, and then you have summer, and then you have fall, and you have like an animal
You have a
separating
teddy
each.
bear type one? Just a cute fuzzy bear?
Doesn't
Well, not fuzzy, but
I mean
fluffy, but not with the hair. But yeah.
I could get. I mean it doesn't fit the aesthetic of these other three
No, no, no,
animals,
no,
but I
no.
mean,
It can be made out of the same stuff. It doesn't have to have, but it
how about
kind of.
like an actual like bear, you know?
Yeah, I don't want a bald bear. I want it
Well,
to
no,
look
like
like.
it'll look like an actual like bear that you might find in the woods or something.
Yes,
Is
yes,
that cool?
yes.
All right. And he like starts
That would be
rummaging around
awesome.
and he fishes out a bear and he goes to another bin and he like starts getting these tie-dye kind of beads and he paints this little rainbow where the colors look like they're changing seasons around the wheel and he puts the animals in the little gaps in between and it makes like this little charm bracelet. Uh and he's like, "All right, what do you think of that? Does that work for you, man?"
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
All right.
Yes.
All right, let me
Yeah.
go.
Could you wrap that up in a box for me? Can you do that? Maybe
Yeah.
put a little bit of incense or something. I don't know.
You want me to put incense inside the box with the bracelet?
Wouldn't that make it smell good or make it cool?
Yeah, sure, why not? All right, yeah. And he goes behind the counter and he gets a little box with one of those little the cotton pads in it, and he drops it down and he kind of opens a little box under the counter and pulls a pinch of something out and like sprinkles it inside and closes it up and
And I,
wraps it around.
yeah, that's perfect.
He's like, "All right, how about you, young lady? Did you figure out what you want?"
I think Zuki's still looking at tattoos,
I
right?
hope she's still looking at tattoos.
Yes, Zuki is still looking at tattoos.
Okay.
All
Because
right.
I keep glancing nervously over there and everything.
What
I take the box and slip it in my pocket as soon as I can.
what catches your fancy?
Oh, you don't have what I'd be looking for here.
Well,
I
what
don't
do you?
see it picked.
I don't put everything on the wall. I
Oh, I
can.
was considering a cockroach, but probably not today.
All right. You know what? I'll see if I can work one up for you. You use like a big cockroach, a small cockroach. Do you want it to be like cartoony? You want it to be real? Like, do you want
A
it to
Oh,
seem
cute
like
one.
realistic.
you want it to seem like it's like actually crawling off your skin?
Absolutely.
All
Yes.
right, I can do that. I'll work something up for you. I'll work something up. All right, Reg. Why don't we just say $5.
Yeah, and I give him $10, and I say, "Thank you so much for
Yeah.
everything." And
He says, "Hang on, hang
Zuki,
on, hang on, wait, wait. You asked me a question, and I said don't get mixed up in the Court of Shadows, and then I got distracted. Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. I was telling you how like I use magic inks, and then I got all freaked out about the whole magic thing. Oh, magic thing.
It's
And
okay.
but then
They actually know. Yeah, it's
right, right,
fine.
right. But I mean, I got all anyway. And so what I was gonna say is like those shadows guys. I don't work for them. I won't work for them because like they use they don't use ink for their tattoos. I don't know how they do it, but they condense souls, and there's actually souls in their skin, and that's just creepy. I won't do
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that.
We've heard that.
Yeah, for that you want to go to Dr. Zardlev.
Uh, Doctor Zardlub.
Yeah, he handles the weird stuff.
Oh, and where is he located?
He is down in Roxbury. He doesn't really have a shop inside parts of town 'cause he kind of hangs out in a bad neighborhood. The rent is way cheaper down there, but no one messes with him because he's just bad news.
Okay. Well, we will go speak with Doctor Zardlub then. Thank you.
And he pulls a little card out and he scribbles something down. And at first you think he's writing an address, and then you notice he's sketching a picture of a cockroach.
Oh, I okay. So we're done here.
Oh yeah. You know where where Zardlev is, right?
Yeah. Well, well, you kind of told me vaguely, but I will.
Oh, you don't know like the address.
No, you actually just told me about who he was like 5 seconds ago.
You want me to write it down for you?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that'd be great. Maybe
this
flip the cockroach.
this card has a cockroach on it. Is that all right? I mean, it's not done,
Yeah.
but
Well, no, that's
should,
fine.
should I finish the
Actually,
cockroach first, or
no, no. I have so many cockroaches in my life. I have so many good points, frames of reference that.
how does this one compare? Is this good?
Yeah, actually,
Uh,
if you could make the antennas up a little bit, like they're almost like they're waving, that would probably be a little
all
better.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
How's that? Is that better?
It's much better.
All
Yeah, it's
right.
uncanny, really.
Oh, good. All right. Uh, uh, and he starts to hand you the cockroach card, and he's got like this puzzled look on his face, like, did I forget something? And he's like,
I need you to write the address, Sakai.
yeah.
Yeah, tell me
Sorry,
that.
man.
That's all right. That's
Doctor Zardlev, and he writes down an address in Roxbury for you, and it's for Zardlev's Oddities and Antiquities.
all right. We have a new place to head to. Cool. Yeah, I hand her money and then I head outside of the shop.
But
and,
not before Zephyr goes and opens the door.
Yeah. God,
Still,
Okay.
no
nothing.
cognizance whatsoever.
What order are people going in? Out the door.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm gonna go right behind him.
And I follow right behind Zuki, ignoring everybody else coming out the door.
Thus ensuring that the only one that doesn't know what you're up to is Zuki. Because Nick and Keel, I'm sure, pick up on this at this point.
So Keel will follow after that, and as he does, he'll turn to our new friend here and just say, "Take it easy on the incense, man," and then head out.
And he starts like, you don't see this, but the camera sees him looking up and goes, God? And Keel, give me a perception check for on your way out the door.
That is a 16.
Okay. It's it's a shop, shadowy
Oh, shit.
in the corners and shit, All right. And you head out, and the rest of the gang is outside, headed toward the battle van.
Yeah. All right.
I
Yeah,
hurry
we
to
had,
go open the door to the battle van.
oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay, Zuki, I'm going to give you an insight check at this point because this is the third time
Yeah, I
he has
figured
run
that was
ahead.
coming.
This is the third time he's run ahead to the group.
16 plus 8, 26.
So
No, sorry, 24. 16 plus 8 is 24.
16 plus 8 is
Yes, it
24.
is.
So Zuki, as you're getting into the van, you noticed Zephyr run ahead, and he had to run ahead because you are a lot faster than him because he has to keep stopping for his inhaler and such. But you notice this is the third door he's opened, and he keeps running ahead to do it. And what is that look on his face? Because it's not a look I've really experienced directed at me before. He's acting weird. You don't know why, but Zephyr's acting weird.
Ooh, dream.
Why the hell are you acting so weird?
What? What?
I said, why the hell are you acting so weird?
I'm not acting weird. What do you
Okay,
mean?
I can open my own doors. Thank you very much.
Oh, I of course you can.
I'm not some sort of stupid weak girl thing, okay?
I kind of look
I'm gonna
nervously
jump
over
in
at
and try and
Keel.
Whoa! 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 He's not trying. Listen, Zuki, just go ahead and get it. You're all right. Don't worry about it. We got this.
Yeah, I know I'm all right.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah,
even
you
think
are
about
all
it.
right.
Yeah, that's right, buddy. You're the man.
I pull out my inhaler and take a puff on it again.
I'll give him like a little high five.
She goes in and she just sits in the van and crosses her arms. Not like cranky, but just like,
Probably
Now, is there a seat
scowling
a little
next to
bit.
her by chance, or
Well, she's the first one in the van, so yeah.
If you try to sit next to her, I'm gonna physically stop you.
it's all I can think to do. So I start getting up in the van to sit next to
No,
her.
wait. Come on in the back. It's back there with me. Come on, we'll sit in the back. The view's better. It's more air back there. Trust me. Come on, slide in the back.
But I slide in the back and looking as dejected as a pitiful 5'2", 19-year-old can look that has never been on a date in his life.
Yeah. This is my new project, by the way.
Oh
100%
good. Oh good. What could go wrong?
Every day. My
Reginald sits in the passenger seat and turns back and looks at Zuki and be like, "Did you change your hair or something? You just look so pretty today. Don't know what it is. You're just very. It's this girly, feminine. You have this like princessy sort of.
While all this entire conversation's been going on, Keel's started to go for it, and he brake checks as hard as he can.
Reg, give me a deck save.
I will do a deck save. It is a 19 plus other numbers. It is a 27.
Even though you hadn't put your seatbelt on yet because you were busy giving Zuki a hard time and he stops short, your finely honed reflex as you reach your hand out and put it on the dashboard and just kind of give Keel a look like, really?
Sorry, there was a bee.
There was a bee in the car. You fight demons and lords of the underworld, but you were afraid of the little bee in the car.
I'm allergic.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were allergic. That's serious. Not
I've got an EpiPen.
All right.
So probably to Zephyr.
Yeah.
All
Wait,
right.
wait! I heard my name. What was that?
Nicholas said, "I have an EpiPen." I said, "So does Zephyr, probably."
Oh yeah, yeah, I do.
All
All right.
so-
Let's head to
So
Dr.
Zuki,
Zoidberg.
Zuki didn't fall out of the chair, her seat, when he slammed on the brakes, did he?
I don't think so.
Did she? She didn't. Okay, I was concerned.
I mean, a dice check would confirm that.
I probably had time to buckle up. I may not have. I'd be happy to do a dex check on that.
I kind of assumed that the other people in the car buckled.
It's force of habit now.
So where are we
Gonna
headed?
be awesome.
All right,
Where are
so
we headed?
Yeah.
Zardlev's Curios and Oddities. Keel punches it into the GPS, and away you go. Takes you guys probably about 20 minutes to get there. And this section of Roxbury, you now see what Sakai was talking about. This is pretty grungy and rundown. And, you see, like, gangs on the street corner. Looks like some guys probably selling drugs just openly in the middle of the day.
Okay.
Okay, as we're doing the drive and everything, I'm playing my guitar as softly as I can, but singing love songs under my voice and everything, trying to come up with the perfect one. It's even the nights are better now that. Oh no, that's not the one. There's a girl that's been on my mind
Hey, can you turn on the radio?
all the time. Sukio.
Zephyr,
Oh,
Please.
she's on a
Look-
next level. This is
Yeah.
gonna be good.
let me turn on the radio, please, Zephyr. I love your playing, but let me turn on the radio. And I plug my phone into the auxiliary cord and play all love songs. Like I find as many let's get it on, baby. Like I just a mix.
And I counter sing to every single one.
Yes, you do. You
And
beautiful.
just keep the guitar going.
This is probably the longest 20 minutes of Zuki's life. Even longer than the amount of time where she was hiding in the summer lady's palace, wondering what to do.
Let's make this clear. How much, or let's get this. How much does she know about the mating rituals of young men?
Oh, nothing at all.
This is awesome. This is gonna be the best day of my life.
If anyone's paying attention to Keel, he's got both hands on the steering wheel, and there's almost imprints on it. He's so fed up with this going on right now.
I mean,
as
it's
soon as
almost like watching your dad hit on your girlfriend.
As soon as I see the physical imprints in the steering wheel, I like start moving around to different songs and stuff like that. But I imagine we're close to arriving anyway.
Yes, by the time you notice, because you're having a little bit too much fun to be aware of what's going on with Keel. And that audience, what you just heard is the sound of the wheels of Brian's adventure coming off. Because we're completely in uncharted territory again, and that's what not even an hour tonight. It's like a new record for you guys. We're off the rails.
At this point,
Well done, well done, well
Ryan,
done.
At this point, I've got everything else mapped out. If you want to take a 10-minute break,
You know, I
song this for everybody. It's going to be fantastic.
You know, I could use a drink. Maybe I'll just excuse my.
Make it a stiff drink.
Oh yeah. All right.
Nicholas essentially turns into Sebastian in The Little Mermaid. Just
Oh, that's a good one.
Yep. Off the rails.
Too many bards in this car.
All right. So you park the car. Where do you park the car? I mean, there's street parking. There's like a couple of lots nearby.
We're a pretty rough neighborhood, right?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So is it like on like a corner store type of deal? His shop, or is it
It's in the middle of a block,
in the middle of the block?
down a small side street.
Is there an alleyway next to the shop?
Yeah.
I think that's where we'll park.
Okay. You park. You guys hop out and head out of the van. down to the mouth of the alley. There's a couple of guys like leaning on the corner there, uh, kind of torn jean jackets, ratty jeans, but really nice sneakers.
Do an insight check on them. Just my cop senses are tingling.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a 19 plus 3, 22.
These guys are definitely scoping you out, and your cop senses are definitely tingling on these guys.
Uh, basically gonna. Can I pick up which one's possibly the leader of their little crew?
You're not sure if either one is the leader of the crew. You're not sure yet exactly what they're up to right now.
Basically, just want to give them almost like an intimidating stare, like
Okay.
you touch this, you die, type of stare.
All right. Go ahead and give me an intimidation check.
How does a natural 20 do?
Natural 20 does you you see these guys sizing you guys up, and Keel just kind of looks at him, and they just kind of lurch back a little bit, like, oh, oh, I see, and they kind of avert their eyes and stop looking at you as you walk by and you head towards the entrance of the shop. And as you guys get about 25 feet away from them, like you're maybe halfway between them and the door of the shop, you hear over your shoulder, "Don't sell to them, they're cops!" These are not necessarily the smoothest criminals, but, you get what you get in Roxbury, man.
Well, I start rushing towards the door to open it, and after 3 steps, realize what I'm doing, and I turn bright red and stop.
Zuki has rushed ahead to open the door before he gets the chance to open it.
So he starts to run, and you sprint past him and get to the door. And Zuki holds the door open for. Do you hold it for everyone or just him?
Oh no, I'll open the door for everybody.
Okay. So Zuki's
And-
standing there holding the door.
And my ears are just bright red right now. You can almost feel the heat. Feel the heat. Anyway, as I walk in,
The moment.
Embarrassment is an emotion that Zuki has seen and experienced enough of to know that he looks mortified for whatever reason. You're not sure why still, but he looks mortified.
She takes a mental note, but she's not going to say anything right now.
Okay. And you guys head into this shop that has the weirdest assortment of knickknacks that you have ever seen. It's a dark, dingy, kind of a dusty shop, and I mean, it's things like, you know, there's a clown figurine with a clock in its stomach.
Keel shudders at the sight of that.
There's like 4 kittens dressed in little dresses playing Ring Around the Rosie around a skull. Weird stuff like that.
Zuki has completely forgotten why they were there in the first place and is just looking at everything in the store.
You even find there's one that draws Zuki's attention. It is it's a man reaching like he's trying to pull himself up, and it's a statue of a man, and his body, his lower legs and partially up his torso are covered with cockroaches, as though he is being swarmed by cockroaches.
Cool.
And Keel, you're a little bit unsettled by this place. There's something about even without opening your divine senses, there's something about this place that's not right.
Do we immediately see Zuki go over and start like looking at everything and examining objects in this weird place that gives us the creeps?
I will give you a perception check because you were there for a purpose, and she is the last one in because she held the door for everybody. So
That is a nat one. Nope.
now you are a little bit creeped out and focused on the man behind the counter who is also tall, thin, tall and thin, much as Sakai was, but he is much more gaunt and pale, immaculately groomed down to his fingernails. Yeah, he's wearing a black suit with a black vest, with a black tie, with a black shirt. Uh,
Does he look human?
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
That is a 17.
Yeah, he seems like he's pretty human to you. I mean, he's got his hair is slicked back, pulled into a ponytail. But again, everything meticulously groomed. His eyebrows are meticulously groomed. His face is clean shaven.
Okay, I walk forward and I say, "Is it morning still, or is it afternoon?"
It's afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Welcome to my shop.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the hospitality.
I am glad to welcome you here.
Did you say you're Vlad?
I am sorry. Is that supposed to be some kind of joke?
No, I hearing's bad. Loud music when I was a kid. Sorry.
I see. Because I am pale and thin and I have an East European accent, I must be a vampire. Is that the joke? Da, ha ha. Let us all have a laugh at the
So you're a
foreign man.
vampire?
Are we done? Is there something I can help you with?
Yes, yes, actually, there is. A friend of ours recommended that we come and see you because you have a knowledge and an expertise with the strange.
That is true.
We are here to find out information about tattoos of a mystical nature.
I see. I'm afraid I must ask for some identification from you, sir.
Sure. Insight check on him. Is he acting strangely now that I've asked about it? He's acting super weird, right? He's shutting down.
Yeah, he's closing off a bit. Insight. What is your insight? What did you get on the insight?
No, I think that was
Okay.
it. I think I hand him my business card.
He looks at it, goes around behind the counter, down to the end, flips something open. You see him go tick, 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 punch a few things in, tick, walks back over, hands back the card. I apologize, but you cannot be too careful.
No,
In-
I understand.
In my line of work, Ben regulates very, very closely.
Yes, yes, of course. So we are not working under Ben's jurisdiction right now. We're working under our own jurisdiction right now, and we are here mainly in information gathering mode.
Very well, very well. I have information that I am sure I can give you if you just tell me what it is you are looking for. And if you see anything around the shop that you like, you let me know.
Are the items that you sell in this shop of a magical nature?
Some are, yes, but not all. What is interesting about the magical ones, I have put an enchantment on them. They cannot be seen by those that do not understand the magical world, so I can hide them in plain sight.
I like that. So we are looking for particular symbols, and I want to pull out my phone
Okay.
and show him the symbol that's on the phone but I want to study his face for any
Okay.
sort of micro expressions when I show him the symbol.
Okay, go ahead. Give me an insight check.
Yes. That is a 22.
All right. He looks at the phone, raises an eyebrow for a second. Like, huh, how about that? Is kind of the vibe that you're getting. And he says, yes, I have seen this before.
You have?
Yes.
Can I ask, in what capacity?
I had a group of people come in here and ask me to tattoo symbols like this on them.
You did?
Yes. They brought
can I-
their own ink.
Can I don't want to infringe upon... I don't want to infringe upon employee clientele privilege because I believe that to be something that you probably hold in high regard.
I believe you are correct.
However, I will say this. We have reason to believe that those people that you have been tattooing are associated with the recent bombing of Ben headquarters here in Boston. And I would feel very badly for you or anyone here in this shop should that be traced back to you.
I am not
Don't get
worried
me-
about that.
I'm not either. But if I wanted to be safe about things, I would make sure that whatever sort of threat there was to this business and your livelihood was eliminated. And that's what we are trying to do.
I see. So you're not here trying to threaten me. You are merely looking out for my well-being. That is what you're saying.
We are not going to report anything about your connection to these people, regardless, either way. But in the small time that I've known you, I apprize you to be a smart man. And I think that you and I could both agree that this is the smart way of going about things. And that's not a deception check. I honestly mean that.
Yeah. I understand where it is you are coming from. And so I will answer some of your questions. I cannot tell you where to find these people. They pay cash, they bring their own inks, and they have very specific needs for their tattoos. Mostly the back of the neck.
What is there a character trait that all of these people share? Are they all seeming to come from different walks of life?
The ones with the tattoos on the back of the neck are always bald. And they always seem a bit on the docile side. They are very subdued, if you will. And they come in periodically. The ones with the tattoos on the back of the neck come in groups of 5 or 8, and they get a particular combination of tattoos. Occasionally, they bring in someone else with them, and I don't know if it is a friend or if it is a dare or they are paying them, but most recently it was a young man who seemed down on his luck and could use a bit of cash, and they gave him money to have me tattoo just under his arms.
I see. Have you had any other odd requests for
Yes,
tattoos?
yes,
Weird places?
yes, a few. There are tattoos under the arms, the backs of the knees, places where they would not normally be seen. The most interesting one, they had shaved a portion of his beard and wanted me to tattoo under the beard. So when the beard grew back in, you could not see it anymore.
When did you do all these tattoos?
Uh, Over the last several weeks, perhaps, maybe a few months, I have
When was the most recent?
the most recent was the underarm guy, like three days ago.
Do they come in without appointments, or do they state that they're going to be here?
Oh, always without appointment.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Certainly,
Is there anything else that you can tell us about the ink that they
and
use?
he glances over and points at Nicholas, who's raising his hand. What is this? First the vampire jokes, now he's raising his hand. What is going on?
Sorry, I was just trying to be polite. Old habits. I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh well, that's fine. What can I do for you?
You don't happen to have any of the ink remaining, do you?
No, they would not let me have any of the ink. They have their own ink. They take it out. They give to me. I do the tattoo. I give it back.
And you didn't keep maybe a little bit of it.
I didn't keep maybe any of it.
I mean, not that I could buy it from you.
If I had it, you could buy it. If you'd like, I can lie to you and tell you I have some and sell you some other ink, but what would be the point?
Agreed.
Meantime, what have you been doing, Zuki, while all of this is going on?
Zuki has, as subtly as possible, cast detect magic on the room.
Okay.
What things stand out that have magical qualities, if anything stands out to her or looks extra interesting or might be of interest to the group.
So the cockroach statue is absolutely glowing.
Ooh.
The kittens are glowing. The clown is glowing. Um, there is a desiccated animal paw that appears to be glowing.
Are there a lot of magical things in there or just a few things that are standing out?
There seem to be a lot.
Okay, if she picks up the cockroach statue, what happens?
You pick up
She picks it up and around, like looks on the bottom of it, and
you pick up the cockroach statue, and you get a warm feeling holding this cockroach statue.
okay, and there are no markings on it or anything?
There are some markings on the bottom. Uh, something. It it looks like it might have been an older version of Sylvan, something more ancient.
Ooh.
Zephyr
Can I
wanted to-
read any of it?
Zephyr wanted to know how much that statue is.
I'll give you an Arcana check to try and read it.
Okay.
While she's rolling this, just so you know, I haven't really been following her because I'm cooler than that.
No, you're
I've been absent-mindedly looking at different objects, picking them up, and not really even noticing them and putting them back on the shelves. But
You've been basically
clever
watching.
ruse to be
You've been
cool is
basically
that-
kind of following her with your eyes.
I'm too cool for that.
Uh huh.
And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, fine.
I have no Arcana modifiers, so I got a 15 flat.
Okay, you're looking at it and you're picking up a couple of words here and there that you recognize. The words that you know might be derived from whatever this is. um, and something about um, insects and swarms, and that's pretty much all you can get out of it. But and it looks like it may be some kind of evocation magic.
Okay. Is there anything else as I'm looking around at any of the other things that kind of stand out to me as magical? And that is there anything else that has any elven sorts of looks to it or wording on it as I'm going around kind of picking things up and looking at them and turning them upside down and stuff?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Ugh. 9.
Okay, so you're looking around and you're so overwhelmed um, by the sheer number of things that are there that you can't seem to focus on it. It's like you see animals, you see insects, you see creepy clowns. It's just like it's almost too much. So I will let you give me of your own free choosing a number between 1 and 20, and that's going to be what your focus finally settles on.
I will roll for it. 7.
Okay, so as you're looking around and you're like just touching things, your hand settles on something that feels hot and cold at the same time, and that kind of draws your attention in. And you look down, and it's a snow globe. And inside the snow globe are two elves. And one half of the snow globe is a winter scene, and the other half is a summer scene, and they each have wands pointed at each other.
Okay, I investigate this thoroughly. Is there anything on the bottom? Is there anything that stands out at all about this?
You see, there's a little inscription plate on it that says "Duel of the Courts."
And is that written in
Sylvan.
Okay. Okay, so and does it have any prices on any of these things?
No, none of these things have prices.
Okay.
Do you?
So I'm gonna leave that there for a minute, and I'm gonna pick up the cockroach thing.
So you just when you pick it up, you just put it down. You don't like do anything with it.
Well, the snow globe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I turned it upside down to look on the bottom of it.
Oh, okay.
So it would have rolled around, right?
Yeah. Okay. So you turn it right. So you turn it right side up. Give me a D6, please.
A D6.
Yes.
While she's
A
doing
4.
that, I'm gonna nudge
4.
Reg and point out that she's looking at stuff.
No,
Probably not the best idea.
you're kind of engrossed in the conversation, but this is all happening
Okay.
while you're giving Vlad a hard time.
Okay.
Keel might be able to have a perception to notice it, but Reg and Nick are focused on Zardlev. So you go and you flip it upside down. You're reading it, and then you flip it back, and in spite of the fact that when you flipped it upside down, there were all these little white flakes, and you've seen snow globes before, so it should be snow. When you flip it back, they're all granular and brown, and they're swirling around as though it's a desert storm.
Weird. Okay, so I'm gonna do whatever I can to bring this globe home.
Okay.
But I want to know more about the cockroach thing because that's weird, especially because it was standing out so much. So I'd rather not. I want to talk to this guy about the cockroach thing, and based on how he reacts, that'll tell me whether I would even want to show interest or ask him more about the globe.
Okay.
So I'm going to bring the cockroach thing up to the counter.
Okay.
So that when they're done, when I can find an opening, I can ask about the statue.
So it seems like their conversation is kind of winding up, and you see Nicholas raising his hand. And so you feel like, yeah, I'm probably going to have an opening shortly because that doesn't usually go well. And, so, he has this little conversation, and Zardlov's like, is there anything else I can help you with?
No, not unless there's anything that you feel like would help us in any way.
Well,
Uh,
I'm assuming that you wish to find these people, yes?
yes, absolutely.
Well, then I would recommend. Hmm, I suppose there are one or two ways we could go about doing that. First, I suppose you could merely take up some positions near the shop and watch for people matching that description to come in. Or, if you prefer, are any of you magically adept, shall we say?
Yes, a couple of us are.
If you were to give me, say, an item that I could plant on one of these people, would you be able to find it later?
I think that can
Yes,
be arranged.
yes.
Then perhaps that would be your best avenue. Understand, I am not assisting you because I fear Ben. But if these people are doing what you say, and I will investigate on my own, I have a vested interest in seeing them stopped as well. Consider this enlightened self interest as opposed to fear.
I'm a man that can appreciate enlightened self-interest. Um,
And he reaches out to shake your hand.
I shake his.
Before, as your hand reaches out, his other hand snaps out and he grabs your wrist and he twists your hand and he begins just tracing a line along your palm for a moment. And then he looks at you and says, "Yes, yes, I believe you do." And then he releases it and actually shakes your hand.
Did Zuki hear this about giving him
Yeah.
an object?
Yep.
Okay. She looks over Reggie and says, I don't really have anything on me, but if you have something, we can find it.
Yes, actually, I was thinking about maybe if with Keel's permission, using this one of the paper cranes from before.
Yeah, I can always make another one.
Yeah. So we hand that to our new friend.
Very well. If you give me your card again, as soon as I have undertaken this task, I will let you know.
Yeah, I hand him my card and leave it for him to keep.
Before you leave that, Keel will actually write his phone number on the back of the card.
Whoa.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I will be in touch.
Remember,
And-
Reg, your phone's not working.
Yeah, yeah. I have to get a new one. Apple Care is not believing me when I say that it like a demonic force from the outside world tried to take over my phone.
Just say it's an Android corruption.
Reg, your name is Reg. Very good. You may call me Maxim.
Maxim?
Yes.
Hey, Brian,
Yep.
did I notice Zuki's interest in the globe at all?
Yeah, almost certainly. Give me an insight though to see if you picked up on the fact because she was trying to play it coy because she didn't want to be noticed. So
18 plus
Yeah.
7. I'm going to have to go with 25 on that one.
yeah, you noticed that she was really interested in the snow globe. She grabbed the cockroach cluster, but the snow globe was actually the thing she wanted.
I immediately, as soon as she leaves, as quietly as I can, go over and pick up the snow globe and try to figure out what it is that was interesting her. So I
Okay.
just have to know.
Um. Uh. I mean, there's two elves inside. There's a summer one and a winter one. They have wands. Do you speak Sylvan?
I do not.
Then you
Probably
can't.
one of the only half elves out there that doesn't.
So you can't read the inscription then. So you're not sure what it says.
But I may recognize it as Sylvan
Yes, I'm sure
just
you do.
from my studies and everything. But
I mean-
I actually shake it on purpose and see what it does.
Okay, give me a d6.
4.
Once again, you flipped it upside down to try and see if you could figure anything out on the bottom, and when you flip it back, the bits inside had been white, But when you shake it, the white turns to brown and it looks like a sandstorm, and you see like little dust devils swirling around inside.
Does this alarm me at all, or is this something that
No, I mean it seems like it's probably some kind of magical item. And meantime,
well, does it fill me with any type of dread? Maybe thinking that we've got a battle that's turning into a desert.
no, you don't feel any sense of dread
Okay.
about it. And in the meantime, Reg, as you're like finishing this interaction, out of the corner of your eye, you see Zuki kind of holding something down by her leg.
Hi.
Hi.
You.
If there's an opening and they're done talking, I
Yep.
flop that cockroach thing up on the counter.
Okay.
Can you tell me
Ah,
more about this?
you have a discerning eye. This is a fantastical item. This is how you say the swarm of insects. It is a summoning device. The insects that are consuming the man there, you can use this and you can summon them a few times a day, and they will crawl all off of the man and onto a target of your choosing.
I can summon a swarm of cockroaches with this?
Yes, indeed you can.
How much would this cost? How big is the statue? Is this like a statue you could stick in a person's pocket, or is this like
It's
a
it's
hefty?
it's a hefty statue. It wouldn't fit in a pocket, but it would fit in like a shoulder bag or something like that. It's like a small statuette, like maybe this.
Okay.
Finely detailed.
Sorry?
I said finely detailed. This is a it's an unusual object, but it is not the most powerful thing I have here. This is $325.
Cool.
Reg-
Thanks.
Reginald crosses his arms and looks at Zuki.
She looks slightly sheepish and puts it gingerly back on the shelf.
But you seem so in love with it. Sometimes I barter here. Is there something you have in trade, or perhaps you could do a job for me?
No, no. I think she's promised herself to enough people to do favors and jobs at the moment.
What sort of job are you looking for?
Zuki,
It depends. Sometimes I need people as couriers to bring an object someplace. Sometimes I need things picked up from the port, and I need them protected when they are brought here. I have items of strange and unusual value, and occasionally they get targeted by people. Unsavory people. You would be doing a good deed by helping me.
She looks over at Reggie.
You remember when we had that talk about bad choices? This is that time.
She decides not to get the statue for a couple of reasons. First of all, when you've lived your life on the streets, carrying around a fairly large statue, even with cool abilities, is just not a great idea. It's going to get broken at some point. So it just seems like a poor choice, especially for $325, or even for, doing a job that's probably going to get Reggie pissed off at her. So she puts it gingerly back on the shelf.
Well, you always know where it is.
I do. Thank you. And then goes back over to the snow globe.
Zephyr, where's the snow globe?
I've been watching carefully, and I am definitely putting it down and walking about 10 feet away as soon as I see her.
Perception check for Mizuki.
16, 24.
Give me a deception check, Zephyr.
Oh yeah, that's a 1.
So you turn around to go. Turn around to go put the cockroach back, and out of the corner of your eye, you see Zephyr doing this, and like quickly putting the the snow globe down and turning and making a really awkward beeline to anywhere else in the store.
She just goes over to the snow globe because she knows it's probably going to be super expensive because obviously he knows what stuff is magical and this stuff is magical, and she's probably not going to be able to afford it anyway. But she still looks at it and turns it upside down another time
Okay,
because she knows she's probably going to have to leave it there, and that's disappointing.
give me another d6.
5.
This time, it goes cold in her hand as she shakes it, and the sand turns to snow, and the ice swirls around. And this time, you notice that the ice is coming out of the wand of the winter elf and
Ooh.
is swirling around the summer elf.
Does the inscription change on the bottom at all?
It does not.
Okay. So
Uh,
now knowing that it's done 2 different things, she's just going to keep shaking it to see what other things it does. Because
It does. It seems to do a handful of things. Some of them are snow related. Some of them are heat related. But it always seems to shift the advantage from one of the elves to the other in their duel. Sometimes the advantage is larger. Sometimes the advantage is smaller.
are there only 6 possibilities?
Yes.
Okay. And nothing else changes within the globe, just basically what is swirling around?
How long do you watch? How many times do you try?
He would go through this at least 15 to 20 times to make sure that there were only 6 possibilities.
Okay.
Because it's not going to take that long to turn a globe upside down.
No, and as you keep flipping it and shaking it and flipping it and shaking it, you notice that the positioning of the elves is changing, their expressions are changing, um, and the quality of the material. 'Cause at first, you were focused on, oh look, it changes from snow to sand, and then it changes from sand to snow, and it goes back and forth and back and forth. But then you realized, hang on, the sky looks different. Hang on, there's clouds in this one. Hang on, and you're realizing it's 6 different scenes.
While she's taking 15 times to do this, I'm actually asking him what's the deal with the snow globe.
The snow globe is a very interesting object. I am not surprised that she is drawn to it. It is the duel of the courts. It is an object of shifting of balance between summer and winter. If you say the correct word and you attune to it, you can gain advantage in interaction with one of the courts, depending on how you use it. Very tricky magic.
You say advantage. Do you mean like combat advantage, or do you just mean advantage in social interactions and things of that nature?
Why not both?
Would you still take a favor for an item?
I would take a favor for an item, yes. Yes, I would. You seem like, shall we say, a civic minded group, and I feel that you would not betray or double cross me.
We would not, but I can't promise the rest of the group. I can only promise my services.
Well, why don't you ask the rest of the group? I can wait.
Before Keel answers or anything, is there anything in the room that he specifically is drawn to?
You know what? Go ahead and give me an investigation.
That is a 18.
Now that you open up your senses and you start to reach out into the room to try and see what magic is available, your senses hone into a corner of the room, and there is a bracelet there, and you kind of wander over to it and you pick it up, and it feels right when you're holding it. You feel spiritually connected to this bracelet in a way that you're not sure you understand at the moment.
After holding this, Keel will turn to Reg and Maxim, and I'd be willing to do a job for this.
I see. We are racking up quite the list of favors, aren't we? Does anyone else want to peruse my wares before we decide on the favor?
I feel like everyone needs a go now, don't they? I mean, why not, kids? We haven't had a shopping excursion.
And as they begin wandering the shop looking for goodies, that's where we're going to take our break. When we come back, we'll find out what goodies everyone has tried to choose for themselves and exactly how much it's going to cost them. So hang around. We should be back 5-10 minutes, and we'll continue with more interesting characters and poor life choices. So we'll see you guys soon. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hope you had as nice of a break as we did. Uh, right before the break, the party started trading favors for magic items, which is a really good currency to use. Zuki found a snow globe that she really liked. Keel found an interesting bracelet. And the rest of the party decided that they wanted to go look around as well.
All right.
Definitely, I'm looking around.
Okay. Looking for anything in particular?
I'm trying hard not to look at the cockroach statue to actually see if I can find something useful for me. But just uh, right now, just kind of looking around.
Okay.
Are there any weapons or anything here?
You look around, and at first glance, there don't appear to be any weapons, but then you notice this cane, this really stylish looking cane, and you walk over to it,
That might be cool.
and you pull. You're holding it, and you realize that the handle is a little bit loose, and as you pull, it's a rapier.
Oh,
Wouldn't that be sweet? I am drawn to this cane just because it'll make me look cooler. I know that. So,
Will it?
and and you look at it, and the handle, um, the handle is a wolf's head, and you're like, yeah, rock and
Yeah.
roll, yeah.
yeah, I'm all over this. Now, let me ask this. How much money do I actually have if I don't have to trade favors and things? I
Um,
mean,
you probably don't have a whole lot of cash on hand. You've probably maybe got, in the bank, you probably maybe got a few $100s because
uh,
you kind of ducked out on home really quick. And
yes, I
you,
did.
you kind of bailed after blasting your dad through a wall. It got
Those kind of
awkward.
things.
So,
How much did I get from Sam on that one night of
that
my
one was
failed gig?
that one was $200, but you've spent more than half of that already.
Yep. Oh, I think I spent more than half of that on cannolis. But
I think you might be right.
Oh, and didn't
Okay.
you also help me with the 7 days of pizza for Greg?
Yeah.
well, why? Yes, I did. That was just a touching thing that you were doing. I just couldn't help but
It was so
be
sweet
there
he
for
had
you.
to help. Oh.
oh.
Excellent. Okay, looks like I'm in for trades.
So favor for me too then. Yes, absolutely.
What do I find? What do I find?
What kind of things are you looking for?
I don't know. I'm looking for unique things that would probably call to Reggie's aesthetic. Pocket watches and things of that nature that call to him.
Okay. So you go and give me an investigation check.
That is a 17.
You find a couple of things that kind of appeal to Reggie's aesthetic. Well, one that doesn't specifically appeal to his aesthetic so much as it's almost a little bit campy, but amusing. In that it's a comically oversized magnifying glass, almost like a Sherlock Holmes style thing, and you're like, it's ridiculous, but something about it, I don't know, something about it calls to me. And then you also see what looks like a pocket watch. And you go and you flip it open, and it is a pocket watch, and it does keep time. But you notice something interesting shimmer in the mirrored top half of the pocket watch.
All right.
And when you close the pocket watch and you look at it more closely, there are some sylvan runes along the surface, hidden in the pattern that's drawn there. They don't spell out any words, but
All right. I will bring those up to the counter so that he can explain them.
sure. He says, yes, the magnifying glass. It is a useful item in a less than useful form. When you hold it up to your eyes, and release its magic, saying its invocation word. It allows you to perceive more clearly, and can be used multiple times in a day. It allows you to see details you might otherwise miss.
Interesting. All right, and the pocket watch.
Ah, the pocket watch. It appears to be a watch, and it is a watch, but the mirror is the real magic there. It is a well. I will show you. And he picks it up and he flips the mirror open and he looks into it and he whispers something. And when he lowers the mirror down, he looks like Reg.
Oh shit!
Now that's pretty cool.
Looks like a what?
This
Like Reg.
Reg.
He even looks a little bit shorter than he was now. It's like he shrank a little
Oh.
bit.
Shit. It's like the equivalent of a hat of disguise, but it's just a different form.
Yes, it is. It is.
Oh
They
shit!
starting to look a little better now, aren't they?
Blick, and he flips it back open
Something you want.
and he whispers and he's back to himself again and he pops the watch closed.
Fuck! How many favors can we owe one person though? Like,
How about just one really good one?
That would be a huge favor. Then I don't know if I'd want to do one huge favor for somebody.
Does this guy take credit cards?
I do take credit cards. Do you have that much money in the bank?
I've
Because
got
you
quite a
are-
few cards.
You are starting to run up a bit of a tab here, as you may notice.
Out of character. Obviously, I mean, I'm just myself, so I don't know how much my bills would not be covered by monetarily. I make probably about 80,000.
Yeah, no, you probably have a bit more disposable income than the others. I mean, Reg does too. The two of you probably have more money in the bank saved up for magical items and things, though you've been spending a bit as you've been learning and training.
Would I have enough to treat them to one item?
You could probably afford, one item, yeah.
We're talking about one item each.
No, he would not have enough money for one item each. Well, I mean, depending on the items. I mean, like, like a hat of disguise is not nearly as rare as say the snow globe, which is a custom item. Whereas the rapier is also like the hat of disguise, the rapier are probably like a couple $100.
could I afford the snow globe if I trade in my non-magical sword cane with it? My just regular as a trade.
Wait.
Could I afford that with what I have in the bank?
Yeah, you probably could. It would likely tap you out. But yeah, you could pay for that straight up. You'd have to do some jobs before you could buy more magical items, but
Yeah, I will go ahead and do that then.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we have the sword cane, we have the hat, and we have the bracelet, which is about $600 worth of stuff right now. Nicholas, are you doing any shopping?
I want to hold off to the end and see what's going to happen.
Okay, the end
But are
of
you browsing it all?
the end of what?
Well, I mean, everybody else pick out their stuff and what they want. I mean, I'll go last.
Everybody else has, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, then I would like to kind of take a little aside with this gentleman apologize for my rudeness at the beginning. It's just the way I deal with situations that I'm uncomfortable with as far as dealing with people. And there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. So I apologize. I
I
used to be
understand. I
great,
understand.
but between you and me, I've had a little bit more experience in some of these shops as of late. So I know you have stuff out for, you know, the riffraff and the normies that come in. Is there anything that you have in your private reserve that you're holding on to, or something that you have been waiting for the proper buyer?
I see. I do have something. It is extremely expensive, but it is also extremely potent. Now, what's your alignment?
Let's neutral good.
Okay. He looks you up and down, takes out a pair of glasses, puts them on, looks at you again, and says, "Yes, I think you would be able to make use of this item. Uh, this is a. It is an amulet." And he says, "What? One moment." And he comes and he brings a box out, and the box is silver and gold, and as he flips it open, it almost seems to have a light inside it, and there is an amulet inside, and the amulet it's um, an angelic face, but it looks exceedingly stern. It's kind of like in the old religious liturgies and art. It almost looks like it's trying to smite evil.
I see your tastes are quite nice. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
I can. It is a talisman. It is one of the most powerful artifacts that I have, and I am not sure you can afford it, but you did ask, and so I have brought it to you. At
Why
it,
do you
the least of its effects are when used in the hands of a holy man. It will allow you to have a stronger connection to your God, and it will make invocations of your magic that much stronger when you call
Oh,
upon your God. It
oh.
does have other properties, but you may not yet be strong enough to unlock them.
does it come with the owner's manual?
Yes, of course, I will explain you how to use it. I would not sell an item that you were not capable of using.
That is extremely nice of you. Now, you talk about this monetary thing like it's a bad thing, but I think that between the two of us and this situation, we should be able to come to some accord.
Are you sure?
Since you did mention favors, I'm pretty sure I can help out some way. I do have some connections.
You would need some connections if you were going to afford this item.
I feel like we've got a connection right now, you and I. I feel it. You feel it? I feel it.
You will need much more of a connection than this.
How
But
about you say what you're looking for?
I will tell you the monetary value of the item, and then you will tell me what you think a commensurate favor would be. The item in question is worth $75,000.
It's kind of here, right there. Sorry. Yes, 75,000 sounds like a a considerable favor would be due, maybe even two.
I am not sure you understand what it is you are getting yourself in for if you wish to trade favors for this item.
Well, maybe I can explain what I can do. I do have gifts in healing, and that might be of benefit to you.
Even if I were dead, bringing me back would
Absolutely.
not cost as much as this.
But you'd be alive. I don't want you to undervalue your life. I think you're worth a lot more.
That is kind of you.
So, two favors good for you?
No.
Oh, one favor.
We are looking more at indentured servitude. If you wish to possess this item without any payment toward me, the contract would be significant, and the item would revert to me in the event of your death.
All right, Brian, how much would I be able to give him up front?
You could probably manage, say, 20K or so, but that would be like, I am just wiping out my savings to make a down payment on this thing.
$20,000 on a necklace?
What if I give you 10K today and we work out an arrangement, non indentured? You really don't want me around all the time, trust me. These guys don't even want me around all the time.
Let me think.
I'm really awkward in social settings. It's not pretty.
There is a thing that needs doing, but it is not an easy thing, and dare I say, odds of success are not high. In which case you could die and it would revert to me anyway. But if you did manage to somehow pull this off, perhaps that would be a fair exchange. That and the $10,000, of course.
Let me confer with my friends. Guys, huddle up.
Hey, what is it, Nick? What's wrong?
Can you hear me?
Yeah?
This thing is sweet. It's like baby Jesus in a carton.
All right. Well, how much is it? What is it, like a couple hundred?
Yeah, you could say that. It's like that much.
All right. Why are you saying it just like that, though?
It's just money.
It is. How much money is it, Nicholas?
Sure.
Nick?
Yeah.
How much money is it?
How much you got?
The price tag, Nicholas. How
They
much
don't
does it
have
cost?
price tags. It's
No,
weird.
all right. Well,
So here's the thing. All right. So indentured servitude kind of thing, or better deal, he will cut us a deal, and I mean all of us, for one favor. One. Just one. Okay, it's a terrible idea, but it's really shiny.
it is. If you like, I can find you a shiny rock when we get home. There's plenty of them. We could buy you a nice rock polisher, and you can have as many shiny rocks as you like. But
Did
I
you
don't.
see the box he brought out? That's not just put a shiny rock in it. That's made my toes tingle.
Okay, yes, okay. But what if this is a goal? It is something for you to strive toward. Do you know what I mean? You can start saving now, and then come back at a later time.
What if he dies tomorrow?
I'm, sh- I'm, I've met him for less than like 10 minutes, and I can tell you he's going to be very hard to kill.
You know he's tattooing bad guys, right?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
That makes his lifespan pretty short.
I understand. So maybe we can come back if he passes on, and we can get it on clearance.
You're gonna steal from dead people?
No, clearance. Like
Oh,
on
gotcha.
sale.
Gotcha. That's not
All
a
right.
thing.
No,
Okay, so do you guys want anything? I'll buy one thing.
I'm fine where I am. I'll come back at a later time for the pocket watch because I
What
could
pocket
see. There's a little pocket watch. It's very nifty, but
Ooh, does it tell time and everything?
it does. It does. It has a myriad of uses.
You probably look
you
good
could-
with the pocket watch. Just saying.
Thank you. No, that's what I was thinking too. I'll come back. I have what I came in for. So, but it looks like Zephyr and Keel may still have items that I wish to purchase. So if you want to be very sweet, you might even be able to get Keels and Zephyrs for less than it would take to put a down payment on this wonderful necklace and still get the warm, tingly feeling of helping your fellow man.
Okay, I know I didn't mention it, but if I say it out loud, it makes it sound better. 75,000.
Nope. Saying it out loud did not make it better. It made it worse, Nick. It made it so much worse. No, do not buy this no. Do you know what else you could buy with 75,000? You could buy
You can buy a child in Ethiopia.
what? No,
75
God,
cents a
Nick.
day.
No, you're not buying the child. You're buying food for. Did you think you were buying a child? When you hear the Sarah McLachlan song on like,
That's not what happens.
no. Let's go.
I
Let's
bought
go.
like 15 of those kids. Are you shitting me? I got cards, pictures.
I am so desperate to leave
Two of them,
right now.
Two of them have my last name.
Nicholas, if you buy these two things, the bracelet and whatever Zephyr is holding right now, I will owe you personally a favor that you can exchange for hugs. You can exchange for a movie
Yeah,
night.
You had me at hug. Okay, let's do
All right.
this.
All right.
Okay, so you buy the bracelet, you buy the snow globe, and you buy the sword cane, but not
I bought.
right.
Yeah, I bought the snow globe.
You
and
tapped yourself
he-
out with the snow globe, and he's going to spend $400 on those two things.
Yes.
Okay, so Zephyr, you have a +1 rapier,
Nice.
and
Do you have a frequent buyer card, by the way?
do I have a frequent buyer card?
Like it'll put stamps, or do you have the hole punchy thing? I love the hole punchy thing.
I do not have a hole punchy thing. I do not have a frequent buyer card. I price my magical items fairly, and I also treat my customers with respect. That should be enough.
I love you.
You are a disturbing man.
See,
And-
told you, indentured servant. It's terrible.
Reginald, you do not wish to buy the watch.
I do, but I'm a little tapped for cash at the moment. So thank you, but hold it for me. I'll be back after we save the world.
Very well, I will hold it for you. So instead of $600, it is only $400 for the cane sword and the bracelet.
Cool.
Now, Keel, you use a shield, right? You have like a hammer and a shield.
Yeah. So his shield basically kind of collapses into like almost like an armband type deal. on his left
Well,
arm.
he explains to you this is a special a holy shield and when you activate the shield in the combat, uh, it will give you an extra bonus to your protection, and also it will give you it makes you more uh, fast and alert.
Ooh.
So what you have is a +1 Sentinel shield. So it's a regular Sentinel shield, but it has an additional +1 to AC. You have advantage on initiative and perception while you are using this shield.
That's awesome,
Really
dude.
cool.
Congrats.
And you have a +1 sword cane, which is a rapier. And
Perfect.
Zuki, you have the snow globe, or actually just the globe of the Duel of the Courts.
Globe of the Duel of the Courts.
And
No, she does not. I have the
oh, I'm
globe
sorry. Reginald
the
has the
Duel of the
globe of the
Courts.
Duel of the Courts.
But if she were to eventually get it, you can go ahead and tell her what it would do.
What it does is there is a magical word that is said. It can be used 3 times a day, and it takes time to attune to, more than like normal time to attune. It's going to take practice. Initially, you are going to be getting random results. As you get more used to it and as you attune to it over time, you will be able to invoke summer when you want advantage over winter, and winter when you want advantage over summer. And you can use it to give yourself um, advantage on an attack in combat, advantage on a skill roll, a bonus to a roll. Uh, and initially, it's going to be random, and the strength of those bonuses varies depending on which scene you pull.
That will be eventually possibly really cool if I ever get it.
Right?
I have a lot of information to share with Reggie that may delay that whole thing happening.
He may suddenly feel less charitable, yes.
Yep.
Brian, is there anybody else in this shop?
No, there is not.
Don't try to steal it, Mike. Nicholas, don't do it.
Oh, no. I, I don't steal things. I'm not a thief.
He says, and I imagine I am keeping this in the back for you, yes? And he flips it closed and the glow goes away.
Can I see it one more time? Just one.
He cracks it open slightly. And then he closes it.
All right. I go forward to the door and hold it open for everyone.
This is the thing we're just doing now.
Yep. Hold it open for
I'm gonna
everyone.
step up to him. No, you go through. No, go ahead.
Oh, thank you.
And then
Thank you
I'll
so
go
much.
to the next person. Is like,
It
Yes.
has been a pleasure doing business with you. I will keep you posted on what is going on.
It was honestly a pleasure. Thank you again.
I'll see you later.
Were you talking to him or the necklace?
Sure.
All right, so where are you guys going to head off to?
Honestly, what I would like to do is to go get food with everyone and then not be too crazy far away in case these people come back tonight. But I don't know how everyone else is feeling. I don't know if we have other things that are pressing. If we want to go buy and get cupcakes, or if we're saving that for another day. However, I want to be close by and almost do like a stakeout of sorts, because I'm also aware that there are magical limitations when it comes to the particular spell that we would use to track down an item.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think
Pretty
that's a
hotly.
workable.
I'm good with getting food and being on a stakeout. It'll probably also give me a chance to talk with Reggie.
Yeah. What's a very popular like takeout place, like fast food place in Boston, Brian?
Fast food place. There's a bunch. Depends on what kind of cuisine you're looking for. Boston Market is always pretty big though, which is kind of like it's like a healthier KFC kind of thing where you get.
It's so yummy.
Isn't it good? I love Boston Market. I miss it.
Anything with vegetarian options?
Oh,
Suzuki?
Boston Market has vegetarian
Yeah,
options.
yeah, they've got this cream spinach that's to die for.
Okay, yeah. We go to Boston Market.
And
And-
Zuki probably just gets a sides plate with cornbread or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
gotten it many times. It's amazing.
It is. And it's like,
Cool. We do that.
all right, so you guys go. Some of you get rotisserie chicken, meatloaf. Zuki gets her vegetarian plate. Zephyr, do you get meat or do you go vegetarian plate when you see Zuki get a vegetarian plate?
I get it. Whatever she bought, I get the exact same thing.
Yep, tracks. Absolutely. That is
Which sucks because he's allergic to spinach, and he's just like,
which I hate
Lord
spinach.
help us all
but
if he ever gets a hold of cologne.
Huh.
oh, just wait.
Oh no, Sub says the Boston Market in California is not good, which makes me sad. So we'll remember to not go there when we're at TwitchCon, as though we were going to go, as though we were going to go out of the hotel at any point or the convention center. We're just going to eat snacks we've carried with us and convention center food. Let's be honest.
It's true.
that's right.
All right, so you guys are at Boston Market and you kind of got yourself a little to-go thing, and sitting at some outside tables, eating your food.
Yeah.
I actually approach Reggie. Did I notice him give up his sword cane?
Actually, he didn't give up his sword cane because he didn't have to trade it.
Oh, I thought he was trading it for the snow globe, putting it in with that.
Yeah, no, his money was enough. Tapping out his money, the sword cane wasn't going to significantly alter the price. So
Never mind then.
Maxim let you keep your sword cane.
Thank you.
It was good for your aesthetic.
Right? I think so.
And he's a man who appreciates a good aesthetic, as you could tell.
I like him. He was good.
He's probably got a better business card though.
You know, you did not ask for his business card.
Probably a thick one.
Zuki's decided that. Oh, I'm sorry, because Zephyr, you were going to say something to Reggie first, right?
No, not that. I was wondering if he had given up his sword cane.
Got it. Zuki has decided that she would rather share some of the new developments having to do with summer with the entire group rather than just Reggie, because there's a better chance of her not getting yelled at, or at least somebody backing her up, if she just shares it with everybody all at once.
That's likely true.
So guys, I just wanted to kind of update you on some things that have happened over the past couple of days that we just haven't had time to talk about, but that may affect one or more of us.
Like what?
I did not get the chance to mention that during the bombing the other day, as I was down there in kind of my rat form, trying to help the people escape, I heard a message in my brain from a person who at least identified himself as my dad, which was unusual.
Yes.
He said something along the lines of because I had changed back into my own form, and he said something along the lines of, they don't know who you are and you need to protect your identity. You've been hidden from them for too long. Don't throw it away now. And encouraged me to change back into an unrecognizable form. And I agreed to, but said I wanted to hear from him the next day because he said he couldn't keep talking to me. And I didn't hear from him verbally the next day, but I did get a note.
You got a note.
I got a note kind of in the same place in your room that I'd gotten the other note.
Yep.
And it was on the same paper and in the same handwriting.
Yep.
And but this time it didn't say M, it said Dad on it.
Right. Okay.
Which tells me that maybe when I first saw M, that maybe it wasn't Mom or Mothra. It perhaps would have been his name or something, but I don't know for sure. But I didn't really get the chance to share that. Or kind of what happened over at the summer court when I popped over there the other day, like yesterday.
No, you mentioned that you talked to Mon Mothra, and you, right? Like,
Yes. Well, I overheard him because I overheard him when I got to Summer, the land of Summer Fae. I overheard him talking to the Summer Lady, but I didn't really tell you exactly what he had said. He had said she is still among them, and we are still interested. We have plans for her, and the other two warrant observation. And I'm guessing from that, he was talking about Zephyr and Nick, but I can't be sure. The Summer Lady seemed to imply that this was his project, that this was something he had personal interest in. I don't think I mentioned that I hitched a ride back with her because I was hoping to figure out a way to get out. And
hang on. You say her. I just want to clear it up. You say HER, which you really mean is the fucking Summer Lady.
Yeah.
That's who you hitched a ride with. Okay, no, continue. Cool.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
And
just so I need to say this real quick, that as soon as she said my name, Zephyr, I've completely lost anything else that she's saying. I just need to let you guys know that.
All right. Okay.
So yeah, because I was hoping to figure out a way back, because I realized at that point that the only way I was going to be able to get back was going to be to either come out of my cockroach form and say, hey, sorry, I was spying on you. I hitched a ride on your foot, which could be awkward. So I figured I could at least learn a little bit more, maybe.
Sure. Awkward is a word. Go.
So I ended up having a conversation with the Summer Lady because at a certain point I couldn't stay in my cockroach form anymore physically.
No, of course not.
Because I was going to turn out of it anyway.
Yep.
So, but we had a really nice talk.
Of course you did. Yes. Yep. The Summer Lady.
Yes.
It's great.
She was really nice. And she helped me, and she made sure that I could get back. And I'd actually been there longer than I was actually gone. And so she got me back within, it seems like a very short time after I left, which was super helpful of her.
Yeah, it was super short to all of us. Yep.
Yeah. And she wants to make sure that I can get information from them as well, just like I'm getting information from Winter. So she gave me a really pretty necklace and invited me to have the same deal as Winter and come back and learn more about my heritage. Wasn't that nice of her?
Reg, did you not have the talk with her at all? Ever? Because you can see how excited she was about that entire story. Like, I mean, literally, if she had had dancing shoes on, she'd have been dancing. Did you not tell her how dangerous it is?
No, it's kind of funny. I gave that talk to all of you at the same time, Nicholas, and it's funny that you bring that up. So just so I can clarify everything that happened. You have been talking to any of the fairy court that will listen to try to find information about your father. You come back to my apartment and you find a letter that is signed Dad. Not anyone's name, just Dad. And you assume that it has to be from your dad, even though you've been talking to anyone on the fairy court that will listen about your dad.
Really only 3 total.
3 total, right. And one of them being the Summer Lady, of course. You had a pleasant conversation with one of the 3 most powerful fairies in the realm, the Summer Lady. And
yes, she gave me some really interesting information about my family.
She gave you a gift, which you accepted. And she manipulated time for you. And you think that she is being kind to you.
It was really helpful because I got back and things could have gone really poorly if I hadn't gotten back in time.
Zuki, if I approached you and said that I felt sorry for you and how poor you were, and I decided that I was going to give you a $10 bill because you deserve charity, would you take it? Because I felt sorry.
I mean, I was totally up with taking that $10 until you said you deserve charity, and then I got a little bit offended, and so I'm not quite sure anymore.
So what if instead I asked you to go buy something, say flowers, and I gave you a $20 bill,
Yes.
knowing that you would spend 10, but then give me, and say you spent 20, you're still getting the $10 bill, but I'm able to know you well enough to know that you would pocket the 10. I'm still achieving what I want. I'm just going a circuitous route.
Okay. It was actually $6.50. I pocketed $13.50.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
get your point.
No, I wouldn't think you would.
Is this the real world?
Zuki, you have to be careful. I can't protect you any longer. Because every time I do, I feel like you're an animal and I'm trying to pull on a leash and you're just going to keep running away.
I'm not always an animal. Just sometimes.
I've tried being a friend. It didn't work. I tried being a mentor. It didn't work. You're going to do what you're going to do. So, good luck. We'll be here if you need us, but I can't keep having this argument with you. I'm not going to ram my head against the wall over and over again. You're being played by people that have been playing this game for hundreds of years. You did not take advantage of them. It wasn't because you were super nice. The summer lady liked you. They told you exactly what you wanted to hear and what they needed you to hear. You are being manipulated, my dear.
Hang on a minute. You have a son. If your son was in a coma in the winter court and you found out that someone from the summer court had done it and you were trying to find out information, would you not pursue that information? Would you not talk to them to try to find out how to get him back, how to get him out of this coma? Would you not want to do something, have to do something?
I'm sorry, who's in a coma?
My mother? I've told you this.
Yeah. And who put her in the coma?
Someone from summer, according to winter.
That's what they said exactly?
Yes.
Insight check.
Okay.
Is that a lie? Is that a lie? They said those words exactly.
Well, no. They said that she jumped in front of my father and that whatever the spell was hit her.
All right. I take out the statue and I push it across the table to you.
You mean the snow globe?
The snow globe. And I push it across the table. And it says, this is representing the fact that we are in your corner. When this goes tits up, if my son was in a coma, I would do everything within my power to find it out. But I would not sacrifice my own life to do it because I would want to spend time with him after he got out. Your mother is no good to you if you make so many bargains that the minute she wakes up, you are not there to greet her.
So then what do I do? And she's looking at the whole group, like for anyone's opinion on what she should do.
Now's your chance, Zephyr.
Do you actually whisper that to him?
Nudge. It's your chance.
Okay, he comes out of his trance and looks like a deer caught in the headlights. and looks over at Nicholas, confused.
She's looking for input. Input.
I think Zuki's right.
What he meant to say was that you're on the right path
Yes.
and that you're maturing in your decision making. That's what he meant to say. From the
And I'm
bottom of
here
his
for
heart.
you, and I got your back. And anything you need, just let me know. Was that good?
Excellent.
Okay, thanks.
High five.
Right up till the end there. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Rock solid.
So what you're saying is I should go visit the Summer Lady to learn about my heritage.
No, that's not what he said.
Oh,
Kind-
Suki, my dear, you've already made that promise. That's not a question. You're going. She's already given you too much. You need to start viewing this at who's the most friendly to me, and you need to start viewing this as a little more broken. I'm not saying you're going to know when the shoe's about to drop, but I will say that I've known you as a cockroach, and you are very resilient. And you need to be ready. It's not a question of whether summer or winter is going to backstab you on this. The question is when. And you need to start making decisions and choices with that in mind so that there is a future to come back to.
I'm being careful.
I got a little solution for everybody. How about we just all decide today, right now, that any major decisions, any minor decisions, because we're not sure if they're major when they're minor, could happen. Why don't we just tell everybody what the decision might be?
Yeah,
What a great idea. I love that idea. I'm in.
it's not like I could have popped over from Summer to go, hey guys, I'm talking to Summer Lady over here. Can you guys give me some feedback on this choice before I make it?
Or
Can I-
before you jump on the guy's foot who's going away, maybe say, should I do this?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Now
it
you
was
got your big girl pants on.
Of course, it would
Can
have
I
cost
see
you
the
a wild shape, but you know.
Yeah. Can I see the necklace?
She shows it to him, but she does not take it off.
Is it, Brian, is it a clasp necklace or is it just one that fits over the head?
It is one that fits over the head.
Perfect. Okay.
To be fair, she told me that if I went to visit her, she could return me to the same time that I left. I didn't have to tell you any of this stuff. I could have gone and come back, and you would have never even known that I would have gone, that I had gone.
The minute she says that, I look over at Keel.
Do you know what? I think you did make the right move, Zuki. I think you went the wrong way about it. But in the end, you know, the whole summer and winter, everything in between, whether that be in between planes, you know, the good versus the bad, summer versus winter, whatever it may be, any and all information we can get right now will lead us to whatever's happening. I think we do need to make a consensus as a group with these decisions that are being made. We bring it towards the group from now on. It might be best to be prepared when you do visit both the summer or winter courts to have a list of questions or bits of information you're willing to trade or seeking for so that you're not going in blind. Because the last time any of you went in blind, we were down several favors. And those are going to come back and bite us. I know for a fact that will. You still owe Mothra a favor. We never know when he's going to call that in. I assume the Lady of the Winter Court has something up her sleeve as well. But with you being, half winter elf, she may have a bit more wanting for you to understand. Personally, I feel like we can trust the Winter Court more than we can the Summer at this point. But any and all information is good information.
Thank you. She's a little like teary-eyed to have someone support her and say that she didn't do terribly and she wasn't making horrible, selfish choices.
No, they were horrible and selfish.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Don't get him wrong.
I am happy to have any and all input about what questions I should have to go in with or what information. I mean, I've been pretty upfront about the fact that I'm fully aware that they have more information than I do. And at some point I'm going to run out of information, and that I'm there to listen and I'm there to learn, but that it can't be just a one-for-one informational exchange because they simply know more than I do.
You know what this needs? You know what this needs?
What does it need?
It needs a group hug.
No,
Yes.
I don't think it does.
Yes. Oh, it's
No.
gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Just come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. All right, bring
Zuki
it
goes
in.
for a
Bring it
group
in.
hug.
Bring it in. Zephyr, bring it in. Come on, Gale.
Can I
Gale.
sneak in next to Zuki?
Absolutely, buddy. If not, I'll push you in. Gale, get over here. Lock this up. Get over here. Lock it up.
Moves in and throws his arms around everybody.
All right. Suki, don't fuck this up.
Okay, I'll try not to.
Empty promises.
Oh,
Anyways, what's our next step?
We probably need to get back and start our.
Yeah, let's get in the van.
what happened to our stakeout?
That's what I'm saying. We should probably get back to the stakeout.
Did anybody see anything? I didn't. It's perfectly normal.
We're-
Are we
Uh,
anywhere near the tattoo place?
You could drive back over there.
How's the outside look, Brian? I mean, do we see anything strange sitting outside out in the open like this?
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we head over back towards the van.
Okay. Okay, so you guys.
Okay.
So you guys go drive back over. Do you kind of find a parking lot or something within sight of the door of the place,
Yeah.
or do you kind of go around the corner but still within the 1,000 feet?
I'd rather go around the corner and then just kind of track them from there.
Okay. All right, so you guys kind of camp out in the van. Yeah, it's you're there an hour, 2 hours. It's getting like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Do you go get any supplies or anything, or are you just?
I mean, there's probably bodegas, so I would stay in the van with Keel, but we would send Zephyr and at some point, I'm sure that we'd be like, does anyone want to do a caffeine run? And we send Zephyr and Zuki to go get caffeine.
Do we?
I think we do need to play this out.
Okay. So Zephyr and Zuki, you head off to a Dunkin' Donuts because that's where you get your caffeine in Boston. It's Dunkin' Donuts.
That's the place.
And donuts.
And donuts, yes. And Reg, how much do you give her to go pick up the donuts and the coffee?
Nothing.
I'm sorry, I'm all tapped because I just spent a whole bunch of money on this wonderful magical item, and then she got teary-eyed because Keel was nice to her. And all of this, I spent every red cent I had, and then she looks over at Keel with love and adoration. And I think
To be fair, you did give her the gift with a ginormous guilt trip, so it kind of, it didn't
it's true, but
feel as nice.
nothing better sums up parenthood in my mind than like spending a shit ton of money, but somebody else says something nice to them, and they're like, "I think this person's my best friend."
Yep,
I'm
that's
gonna
about the
give
size of
my
it.
I'll give my
Yeah.
card to Zephyr, and it's like they'll screw this up. Count on you.
And
You do this.
I have that whole deer in the headlights look again, but
Focus. Look at me. Right here in the eyes, buddy. Right here. Focus.
and I focus on them, and I take out my inhaler and take a puff on it.
All right. You're the man. You got this. Take this card.
Okay.
Coffee,
Okay.
donuts.
So you guys are walking. And it's only a few blocks to Dunkin' Donuts because they are up in New England. Dunkin' Donuts are even more prevalent than Starbucks are anywhere else. So it's not far to a Dunkin' Donuts, and you guys are walking, and you keep glancing over at Zephyr because it feels like he's staring at you, but when you look at him, he's looking anywhere else, and you don't understand. You don't know what's going on. And as you're walking, and Zephyr is way too preoccupied to notice anything, but you catch some movement out of the corner of your eye in an alley.
Ooh. I don't go into the alley, but I put all my focus over there to see if I can figure out what's going on.
You see, um, you see what looks like uh, a slender woman standing just inside the mouth of the alleyway, and she locks eyes with you and motions you over.
Do I notice any reaction from Zuki?
No, because you're too busy, like trying to
Looking at my feet and
well,
glancing at
you're
her.
like trying to notice her and get her to notice you, but not let her notice that you're noticing her. It's like that really awkward teenage boy thing where you're like,
Oh, heck yeah.
you're trying to take in as much as you can without being noticed.
And I'm really good at awkward.
Yeah, so I mean, you're nailing it.
So I really quietly whispered to Zephyr, I'm like, "Do you see that over there?" And I'm kind of gesturing with my head over towards the lady standing in the alley.
Does she breathe on my ear at all when she's whispering?
Yes.
I kind of shiver and I say, "What? What?"
The lady over there.
Okay, so I kind of follow her gaze and see if I
Uh,
see the lady.
Yeah, you see, there's a lady in the mouth of the alley.
And she's
And
by
does the lady-
herself. She doesn't look threatening or anything.
She doesn't look threatening. She looks like she's by herself.
Yeah, what about her?
I don't know. She's calling me over there. Should we go over and find out what she needs?
Can I do an insight check on this lady? See if she's gonna hurt my girlfriend?
You can try. You can certainly try.
Oh yeah, 5 plus
She looks harmless enough.
7. It's 12.
She looks harmless enough.
Yeah,
We
let's.
don't actually have to go into the alley, but we can go near the alley. We can stay in the lit areas.
I'm keeping my eye on you though. I'm not going to let you walk in there at all. Just know that starting now, we're not going in the alley. Period.
It's a deal.
And I reach out to try to hold her hand,
She doesn't. No, she's walking towards the alley.
and I make it look
You,
like
you like
I
reach and
wasn't
you
trying to hold
no,
her
you
hand.
reach and miss because she's already started walking away. It's really awkward. You go to
And,
grab the
I
hand and it's
quickly
just not
put my
there.
hand in my pocket and follow her.
You're a little ways ahead of Zephyr because he is not as hardy as you, and you realize it's your mom.
Like mom that was in a coma.
Mom that was in a coma, mom.
Okay.
And she's motioning you over and kind of puts her hand to her lips.
Okay. So I walk faster.
And I do what I can to catch up and try to grab onto her arm or hand or anything that I can.
Okay, I need each of you give me let's go acrobatics.
7,
I need to get new dice.
13.
12.
Oh! Once again, you're like, and you grab at her shoulder, and your hand goes swish as she picks up the pace just as you were about to, and you get a little winded, and she gets ahead of you.
And breathlessly, it just, Zuki, wait.
I'm not
Okay.
going in the
Hang on.
alley.
You don't hear Zephyr.
Oh,
You hear growling behind you.
I look behind me.
There's some kind of wolf there, not like a bipedal wolf with saliva dripping from its fangs, and its head kind
Where
of
is Zephyr
tilted
standing?
and at an odd angle, and it's like maybe 20 feet behind you.
In the same place that he was standing or nearby where he was?
Nearby where he was, he must have gotten scared off. You know,
Okay.
Zephyr's not
And how
Zephyr's
far?
not
So
hardy, so
the wolf is 20 feet away from me, and my mom is how many feet away from me at this point?
your mom is probably about 30 to 40 feet away.
Okay, so
And you see the wolf pointing at what it looks like he's pointing at your mom.
like with his nose?
No, like
Oh,
with a
by
claw, like a
he's
claw. He's
so
like,
he's
yeah,
like werewolf.
yeah.
Okay. Pointing at her like aggressively, like he's going to attack her?
You think so?
Okay. So I run over towards her, still not into the alley, but
Okay.
at the same time I'm pulling my scimitar out.
Okay.
Just in case I have to defend her
Okay.
or myself.
All right. Zephyr, you see Zuki dash over to the alley and pull out her scimitar. Her bracelet flashes to life, and a scimitar springs out and glowing in her hand, and she's like standing back to the alley, facing you.
And I probably take a couple more steps, and as soon as I see the scimitar flash, I kind of skid to a halt and say her name again. Zuki, what?
Don't you wish you spoke
I
lycanthrope?
call out Zephyr to see if he can, if he's gone off, if he can hear me, if he's within earshot.
He doesn't seem to be. You hear her call your
No
name.
response.
And I'm here. I'm right here. And I start taking a couple steps towards her, and with my hand reached out towards her.
The wolf's claws slash at the air as it begins taking slow steps toward you.
I make a ready stance, like up. Oh, and I activate my flame blade.
As you take a couple steps toward her, the scimitar bursts into flames.
And I immediately put my hands up and take a step back. And Zuki, what's wrong? Am I thinking that I might know what's going on with her at this time?
I don't know. Do you think you know what's going on?
Well, I think I know what's going on.
Go ahead.
Does Zephyr think
Go
he
ahead
knows
and give
what's
me.
going
Go ahead and
on?
give me an insight check.
Zephyr has no idea what's going on.
Zephyr is just too freaked out by the situation. His girlfriend is threatening him with a flaming sword. It's all really overwhelming.
I take my guitar off and I start singing.
Okay.
I sing. And that's where I'm at. Let's go with I like that you're broken like me. Maybe that makes me a fool. I like that you're lonely like me. I could be lonely with you. And continue on in that note.
And are you're just singing? You're not casting anything. It's just.
I'm not casting anything.
No.
I'm just
I'm
trying to understand.
You see the wolf throw his arms down by his side and rear back and just start howling.
I'm still at attention, but I look back over my shoulder at the figure of my mom and I say, "What are you doing here? How did you get here?"
She's taken a couple of steps back into the alley. She seems to be afraid of the wolf.
I can protect you. Talk to me.
It's not. It's not safe. We have to go. There are more of them around. I know there are more.
Where do you want to go?
Home. We haven't been there in so long. I've been gone so long.
How did you get back?
I, I don't know. I felt you call me here. And she kind of looks at your neck, at the two necklaces that are kind of jangling there at your neck. That maybe? I can't be sure. I just woke up and I found my way here. Zeph, what are you doing?
I start into another song. Um, Baby, come back.
The wolf's
Any
howling
kind
is
of
getting
food
more
can't
insistent.
see. And I'm actually casting hold person on her.
Okay. Go ahead.
I mean, not. I mean, suggestion is
Oh,
what I
okay.
mean. And asking her to come back. And
Okay.
I
You
cast
just
suggestion.
hear more howling, howling and like slashing at the air by the wolf. For some reason, he can't bring himself to come any closer to you, but he seems really worked up.
Where do you want to go?
Home, our
What do
home,
you mean by home?
the house we shared, where I lost you. I didn't mean to be gone.
Listen, this wolf is not attacking, and there have been friendly wolves in this area. Let's just walk down the street, not through the alley. Let's walk down the street. We will walk together. You will be fine. I will protect you.
Okay, okay. And she comes out of the alley and she stands close to, but like she's still trying to shy away from the wolf.
Okay. So I'm going to try to get her to walk in the same direction that we were walking, like towards the Dunkin' Donuts
Okay.
or wherever this. So let's walk this way. We'll be fine. Keep walking.
She starts walking. Zephyr, what do you do?
I'm still standing there,
So you
wondering
don't
why my spells aren't working.
so you don't follow?
And well, I do, but I follow at a distance. Does she still have her scimitar out?
Yes, she
Flame blade?
does. So it seems like the wolf is stalking you. Possibly
Now, can
like he's
I?
possibly like
How
he's
far are
trying
we?
to maneuver you maybe toward his friends or something. It's like he's keeping a distance, but you've seen this kind of behavior in wolves before, where he's circling back and forth to make sure you don't go a certain way.
I,
And how far are we from the van?
Oh, I mean, you're a few blocks from the van.
Okay.
You could sprint back there pretty easily, though.
No, but this is my responsibility here. There's something wrong, and so, but I don't want to approach her. I'm sorry. I can't imagine that I'm not thinking that there's something going on with her, and so I'm just following it
Okay.
as safe distance at the moment.
I say, stay away. Go back. Leave us alone.
Gesturing at me,
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, to the wolf. Leave
And
us alone.
and I say, Zuki, snap out of it. It's me, Zephyr.
More growling and snarling.
I said go away and leave us alone.
All of a sudden, another form steps out of the shadows behind your mom. And it's another wolf, and its claws grab her by the throat. And
I
another
slash
wolf,
at the,
and another wolf steps out, and its claws stick into her midsection.
oh God.
And a third
Um,
wolf reaches out, and its claws stick into her leg. And
I'm trying to slash at the wolf.
they just all stare at you like in the eyes, and you're like frozen. You're like not sure what to do.
I'm gonna try to slash at the wolves. I'm gonna try to
Okay.
get them off of her.
Go ahead. Give me a to hit roll.
Um. Oh, it's flame blade. So oh gosh, 18 plus 7. 25.
That hits.
And flame blade is 3d6.
I'm guessing Zephyr's not seeing anything except for her flailing around with her sword at this point.
Yeah, that's about the size of it.
Now, do I see the woman though?
You do see the woman, yes.
9.
Okay. You slash upward and you cut the hand off of the one that had a hand that had its claws into her throat, and the hand comes off and it falls to the ground, and the fur recedes and it turns into skin, and there are these long, slender fingers underneath. And the wolves begin. The wolves begin tearing at your mother, and she's screaming, and there's blood everywhere, and she just falls to the ground. And then the wolves' forms shimmer, and the first one is Goldurak, and the second one is Malmarathir, and the third one, which only has one hand, looks like the picture of your father that you saw by your mother's bed. And your father says, "Drink the blood, be one of us. Join us, daughter. Join us." And I need a wisdom save from you.
17. Yeah. 17 plus 8. 25.
You resist the suggestion, and you don't sink to your knees and try to bathe in your dead mother's blood. But which is good, I suppose. But you're a little bit, okay, not a little bit. You are extremely traumatized by this right now. This is 3 people, all of whom you felt like you had a connection to and you could trust, all just killed the person that you have been seeking for your entire life right before your eyes. And
I'm sobbing and slashing, but I'm probably not slashing at Dad as much as I'm sobbing and slashing at the other 2.
and those two the other wolves, they back away and they recede into the shadows, leaving just your mother's form and the snarls coming from behind you.
I grab my mother's form and cast Cure Wounds on her.
Okay.
Now, is the woman just standing there?
Yeah, the woman is just standing there. It doesn't seem to have any effect. It seems like whatever they did, the amount of damage, it was too severe. She's dead. She's not breathing at all.
Oh God. I don't have another thing I can cast. I cast. I cast Cure Wounds again at a higher level. I mean, at this point, she's desperate. I cast it at 2nd level.
Nothing happens.
And am I seeing her casting?
Yeah.
In desperation, I'm going to actually, using my DOS Flying V, going to cast Protection from Evil and Good on.
What's the range on that?
Suki. Oh crap! It's touch. That's right. So I'm not doing that. I'm approaching as quickly as I can towards her.
And you hear footsteps behind you, and you see the other wolf is now charging in.
She turns around and she's like, she's a mess. She's sobbing and she's a mess. And she's like, I said, stay back. I will kill you.
And I am determined to cast Protection from Evil. I'm still approaching.
So he is running at you.
If he gets near me, I'm gonna hit him.
Okay.
You think you're gonna hit me?
Okay.
You think you're that good, don't you?
I've got a flaming scimitar.
I know you do, but I love you, and there's obviously something wrong. And the only thing I can think of is if I can wrap you in my protection, throw my arms around you.
All right.
Well, close. She's gonna hit him with her flame blade.
I will give you guys each an initiative roll to see who's going to get to act first.
Oh, good. Yes, I rolled a 2.
Crap. Oh, good.
2 plus 2 is 4.
And I've got a 14.
Okay,
I have
that's
never been so happy to roll low on initiative.
I am so happy that you rolled such a low initiative.
all right. So
And I was just gonna say I'm rolling really well tonight. Be careful, but yeah.
all right. So
Still
Zephyr,
rolling really well.
you go running up.
And
And,
I've got my guitar in one hand, and I'm literally going to be throwing my arms around her and doing what I can to cast protection from evil. And
Okay.
good.
And he reaches out with his claw, and he bats at you with his hand. It seems to be ineffective.
And I don't know if I get a bonus action to try to grapple her.
No,
But
no. Grapple is not a bonus action. You used a full action on that, so now it's Zuki's turn.
yes, I did.
I hit him with my flame blade.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled low again. That was a 5. 5 plus 7 is 12.
Okay.
And
So
you miss.
she slashes across and misses. Zephyr, what do you do?
I'm tackling her.
Okay.
I'm wrapping myself around her as best I can.
Give me a to hit roll to see if you can grapple her. Now, you're not skilled in unarmed combat, right?
I am so not skilled in unarmed combat.
So that means that this is just a regular physical attack roll with no proficiency.
Luckily,
Okay.
I'm not either, and I have a really low strength.
But he may
Oh
be still
man,
above.
it's leaning against another dice, but the 20 was right there. Ugh. 16 plus, is it like an unarmed strike? Do I get +3?
Is that you? Yeah. Do you have a do you have a
I
strength
have a-
bonus? Or?
I have a +3. It tells me on my unarmed strike.
Okay, then yep, you have a +3.
So that's a total of 16. It's 19.
Does that hit you?
Yes, it does, because I'm 14 AC.
Okay, so now that so you need to do an you just need to do a contested acrobatics check to see if the grapple holds.
A really low one.
I'm only +2. Oh, 17.
What do you guys ever?
Oh, do I do another one?
Yeah, you
Okay.
you have to. Yeah,
Oh,
this is
jeez.
the first thing was to hit. Now this is your grapple.
Yeah. I can't hold her.
So the wolf tries to wrap its arms around you and sink its claws, and you wriggle out. Your turn.
Okay, I hit him again. And that hit him. It's 18 plus 7.
Uh-oh.
That hits.
Reg, they've been gone a while.
So 6.
Yeah, I get out of the car and immediately start jogging to where the Dunkin' Donuts is.
Okay, how much
That
damage
was
did you?
10 damage.
10 points of damage. So you feel the burning slash of the scimitar across your chest. And you can see flames in the distance, Reg.
I yell "kill," and I just immediately start running. And I'm probably used to this. As I'm running, I'm scoping out for any fucking blackbirds.
Blackbirds singing in the dead of night.
Oh.
All right. So Zephyr, your turn.
I step back and actually pull my sword cane, my rapier out, and for purely defensive, parrying, whatever I can try to do with that.
So you could actually take as an action. You can take the dodge action, which will give disadvantage on attacks on you.
And I'll take the dodge action as well. Is
Okay.
what I'll be looking to do.
All right, Zuki. The fire seems to have bothered the werewolf, and he jumped back away from you and is trying to avoid being hit.
Okay. I said go away, but I'm still gonna slash at him unless he goes away. Because
Okay, well, he's not going to go away until the next turn. So, but you
I
have
know. But I'm rolling
disadvantage.
disadvantage now, right?
Yep.
Okay, and that was a 2 and a 3. Okay, so yeah, 2 plus 7 is a 9.
Okay, Reg, you're scanning the area, like you're scanning the skyline, the eaves of the buildings. Give me a perception.
That is 19.
There are no birds along the rooftops, the skyline, nearby trees. It's weird that you're not seeing any black birds.
Any strange figures around where they are?
Well, as you get closer, you see that there is a woman standing behind Zuki. On your next turn, you can try to scope her out if you like.
Yes, please.
Okay. Keel, you burst out of the van upon hearing this, and you see.
I'm actually not jumping out of the van. I'm turning it on and flipping it around to drive over as quickly as I can.
Okay.
That's my partner. There you are.
And as you wheel around and begin accelerating, you see flames in the distance as well.
And I'm headed right for that, making
Okay.
sure I don't hit Reggie on the way.
Zephyr, are you going to keep dodging?
I'm doing all I can defensively
Zuki,
and shouting her name as best I can.
Zuki, disadvantage. And Reg, you can hear Zephyr shouting from this distance.
Nat 1.
She's having so
Thank
much
you.
fun missing.
Thank you.
All right, Reg, go ahead and give me a perception check.
15.
Yeah, there's something off about this woman. She's got kind of raggedy clothes. Her eyes are a little bit sunken.
Was the perception check a advantage? Was it an action
Bonus.
or a bonus action?
Bonus.
All right, I will take a straight up shot at this lady.
Now, is it what kind of crossbow is this? This is a regular crossbow or a hand crossbow?
This is the hand crossbow magical that can send a
Right.
message.
Right. I know it's magical, but hand crossbow, I believe, has a shorter range.
It's got 30 and then it's got 120 in gray.
Right. So what
Right
that
next
means
to it.
is within 30 feet, it's a normal shot. Beyond 30 feet, you're at disadvantage.
Okay, I will use all of my movement then to get as close as I possibly can.
Okay.
And then
You can get to be within a move of a normal shot for your next turn. So on your next turn, you can move and fire normally.
okay, can I do the? Okay, yeah. Then I will just keep running. Then I will wait until I can take a shot.
And it takes you a little bit to accelerate, but you start to catch up, and you're about even with Reg now in the van. Zephyr? More jumping and dodging and weaving?
I'm jumping and dodging and shouting and crying and
And Zuki?
panting and wheezing.
Zuki?
All right. 18 and 4. 7,
Ah.
8, 11.
All right.
Thank you.
Reg, you are now in range to shoot at the lady.
I'll do a bonus action to study her movements.
Okay.
So that is a 20 insight against her deception.
22.
22. Okay, I will do a straight up attack then.
Okay.
That's gonna hit. Nat 17.
Yes, that is gonna hit.
We'll just say I just need her to look at me. That is. No, that is. I rolled the wrong one. That is 10 points of damage.
Okay. And do you get sneak attack because she has nobody near her, or?
No, she has to. She has to fail that.
Oh, okay. So you don't get
insight
sneak attack.
check.
Gotcha.
Like,
Okay.
She has to fail that deception in order for me to get sneak attack.
Okay. So Keel, you go zinging past and pull the van up onto the curb.
So is there any way? Have I seen this woman, and would I be able to kind of tell that she's really off?
I'll give you a perception.
Ooh, with advantage because of my shield.
Yeah, and I mean, and you do see Red shooting at the woman, so
That's a nat 20.
yeah. There's, her eyes are glowing red. Uh, she has an extra ear. Too many fingers.
Keel, brake check.
Definitely something wrong.
I am actually so not only am I hopping the curb, but I'm aiming my car at her.
Okay.
I'm going to run her over.
All
Red
right.
Rover,
Trying
Red Rover,
to avoid
Centil, right
Zuki
over.
and definitely trying to avoid Zuki and
Just
Thank you.
Pepper.
just know that if you roll poorly, uh, you have a chance of running Zuki over.
All right,
Are you doing it?
it's the quickest way to make the stop. So
Okay. Go ahead. Give me an attack roll.
Oh, thank heavens! That was a natural 19 on the die.
Okay.
Nice.
Um, this you glance up in time, Zuki, to see a car driven by a werewolf barreling down on you, and you just dodge out of the way as it plows over your mother's corpse.
Oh God.
Uh, Keel, go ahead and give me let's say 6d6 worth of damage.
5, 6, 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 26.
And then I need for you to make a dex save.
But what?
That is an 18.
All right, so he manages to jam on the brakes just as he crushes her into the wall so that the van doesn't smash in and the airbags don't pop. It almost looks like he was some kind of professional stunt driver or something. And Zuki, your vision clears and you see Zephyr is like cowering and jumping, and he has this scorched slash across his chest. And as you come out of it, and it all still feels real, your father, Goldurak Molmothra, just murdered your mother in front of your eyes, and this werewolf and the one in the van, at this particular moment, you're not sure what's real and what's not.
I just sit.
And just so you know, tears are streaming down my face, and
Yeah.
I'm looking at you.
Zephyr
with-
is sobbing.
Well, and she is too, to be fair.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Am I still running up at this point?
Oh, I would imagine so, yeah.
I drop the crossbow and I come forward to Zuki and just very gently, like on my hands and knees, come over to her and hold her, like cradle her, like almost like a small child.
Do you let him?
Yes.
Okay.
Because at this point, she knows, like, she's seen this happen to the other
She saw it
four.
happen to him.
Yeah, like she's putting the pieces together, but it's still not easy. I mean, as much as she was yelling at Reggie for not like snapping out of it, like
She now
didn't really
knows,
understand
yeah.
until now how real it was.
And Reg, you just kind of scoop her up, and she basically melts into your arms. With Zephyr is like bleeding and smoldering. The van is smashed up against the wall as these black wisps are evaporating from between the van and the wall, and a small crowd is starting to gather around. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Wait. Can I at least kneel down and put my arms around both of them?
Sure,
Please,
sure.
Please, I'm still sobbing.
Okay.
Thank you.
And sobbing Zephyr just throws his arms around both of you, just crying on your shoulder. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
Yes, a whole week.
Woo! That's right. You get to hug her for a week straight. Look at that.
Years for years.
Thank you all for following us all down this dark path. I believe everybody has had a nightmare now, so they should be a little more prepared the next time this style of attack is used upon them. And fortunately, assuming there is one, I'm not saying that there is or anything. I'm not going to Maya it, But who can say what's going to happen, really? I mean, other than me. But thank you all for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed watching this story as much as we enjoyed telling it to you. Remember, tomorrow, all the damn vampires. Saturday, post-apocalyptic drunken dread, and then Monday back around to chosen family when we find out exactly which way the party's moral compass is pointing. And Nicholas is saying straight down, but he's not. He may not have seen Monday's episode, but he's not far wrong. It's dark times for the chosen family, that's for sure. But in the meantime, keep playing games, keep being awesome, and keep making the world a better place. We'll see you all next time.